He trying to get me over there to fix the washing machine. No, you're right.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to the worldwide family. Peaceful Sabbath as we get about our Abba's business today. We're going to get right to it, y'all. Let's get it.
Get right to it.
What's our message?
Today's message, Yah's spiritual protective dome, so to speak.
Protective dome.
Yeah.
All right, family. We're going to get this opening prayer. And it's with the Most High's permission. And it's in the name of his only begotten and beloved Son, our Lord and Savior and our Redeemer, Yahushua HaMashiach. But we know him as Jesus the Christ. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 73rd chapter,
Yes, sir.
it reads, truly, Yahweh is good to Israel,
Yeah.
Yes.
even to such as are of a clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish, when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death,
Yeah.
but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain.
Yeah.
Violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. They set their mouth against the heaven, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. And they say, how doth Yah know? And is there knowledge in the Most High?
Yes, sir.
Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. Verily, I have cleansed my heart in vain and washed my hands in innocency. For all the day long have I been plagued and chastened every morning. If I say, I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me, until I went into the sanctuary of Yahweh. Then understood I their end. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou castest them down into destruction. How are they brought into desolation? As in a moment, they are utterly consumed with terror. As a dream when one awakens. So, Most High, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their enemies. Thus my heart was grieved, and I was pricked in my reins. So foolish was I, and ignorant. I was as a beast before thee. Nevertheless, I am continually with thee. Thou hast holden me by my right hand. Thou shalt guide me with thy counsel, and afterward receive me to glory. Whom have I in heaven but thee? And there is none upon the earth that I desire besides thee. My flesh and my heart faileth, but Yahweh is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. For lo, they that are far from thee shall perish. Thou hast destroyed all them that go a-whoring from thee. But it is good for me to draw near to Yah. I have put my trust in the Most High Elohim, that I may declare all thy works. Hallelujah! Say now!
Excellent. Once again, Shabbat Shalom to the worldwide family. Shalom, my Ben.
There you go, baby. That was.
Yes,
That's fire right there, boy. That my hand shaking.
I see that.
Hey, big brother, that song there got me up to walk.
I know that's right.
It's so
See? I know it, brother. Don't do it. Well, you already know.
All right, y'all, today's lesson, Yah's spiritual protective dome. And y'all, what we speaking of is a supernatural protection order that's around us, but it's based off of obedience. You won't have this dome of protection with disobedience. It just ain't gonna work, y'all. So we're gonna go through a few examples today of how the Most High protects us with that dome. And due to the fact that we got a lot of things coming up this year, there's a lot of signs in the heavens going on. So we need to make sure we keep things in perspective concerning that. You know, so we got a great eclipse coming on April the 7th, so it's forecasted. But it's only, they say, about 6 minutes. So we can't get that mixed up with 3 days of darkness. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When it's only going to be 6 minutes.
Right.
So we got to keep things in perspective. Not saying don't pay no attention to it, because all signs are to be just examined, but not be dismayed, meaning a sudden fear. This shouldn't scare us. Everything going to take place here, it's going to take place on earth, as has always been recorded. Before we get started, just want to say, first of all, happy Feast of Purim to everybody.
Yes, please.
The feast preparation, as far as getting the bags ready for the homeless, was a great success. Sister Deborah, they had great success on getting them packed and getting them picked up and getting them delivered out. You got anything, sis, on that?
Yes, I do. Yesterday we were almost able to get about 100 bags, but I still have 100 bags in the car.
Okay, so we're still into that feast. So if any of y'all know any people that's in need, like we're saying, the homeless, of any of those bags, the supply bags, that'll help them out, y'all, because they out on these streets, y'all. These streets are rough. So any of y'all give a sister at the end of the class. But thank all of you, the family members who sent in donations to help and assist with that. We greatly appreciate that. And I'm sure the people that receive those bags are greatly appreciative as well. So like I say, once again, we're not going to touch on it today because Jacob does a full lesson. So make sure you tune in tonight to the Walk on the Dark Side, where he's going to do the entire class of the Feast of Purim. So you can just sit back and enjoy with your meal and get a good, clear understanding. And being that was a situation, they were under Yah's spiritual protective dome, so to speak, because the hit was out on every Israelite.
That's right.
To be put to death, you know, and Mordecai and Esther, you know, they were able to receive the blessing of the Most High that saved Israel. And one thing about it, some people you may hear, they say, well, I don't do Purim because it's not in Leviticus 23. Right. And we understand that, and reason being, they may say, well, the book of Esther never mentions Yah's name. Neither does Song of Solomon. But what we're talking about is language in the heart. When the Most High know you, you know, and when you get through all of the Feast of Purim, you'll see the Most High name being in there because of the events that's taking place. Like fasting. What are you fasting for? You understand? Where do you get it from? And like Mordecai told Esther in, I believe it's the 4th chapter, he like, look, if you don't do this thing, you know, don't think you ain't going to be get put down. You an Israelite too. But if you don't do it, we know a deliverer coming. So they don't have to say it. As something you can hear and you can see what's going on, like the Most High speak of, you know, nature is a law itself. So if you can see the elements changing and different things, they don't have to say the Most High's name. It's the walk that you see. And you know, okay, you don't have to hear them say the Most High's name. Their behavior says the Most High's name. Because who they calling on, who they fasting to, you know, to get this done. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's right.
so
It's not in the letter.
it's not in the letter, absolutely. Also just want to send prayers up for our continued family, Uriah and Sister Hananiah, Elder Judah and Sister Tashiba, and also thank the sisters for coming together and getting that package together for much appreciated. To our family over in the homeland, Brother Agdar, Sister Yisraela, Iman Naomiya, and also heard from our brother Johnny and Sister Alka down there in Kentucky. They got word from their daughter that they are able now to get money being transacted again. The system is back up, but they took a great hit, and they had to really realize we are way on the other side of the world, and the money is dead. Yeah, so you know that's we thank for the prayers that they're able to get through that, and they were in minimal rations. I'm talking about no money moving except for Western Union, and they was only allowing so much to come through. Also to our family down in Atlanta, Brother Yavin, and our sister Deborah Israel, and our little sister Tiff. Shouts out to y'all, as well as Happy Soul Day to little niece Brittany and Brother Jakarta, and also Elder Elisha right here got a Soul Day coming up Monday. Happy Soul Day, bro.
All praises.
Yes, sir. You had something on that too, bad?
Make it to it.
Yes, sir. What you saying too, bad?
Yeah, Sister Hubia in the chat says, okay, 9 months lost a brother, then 2 months ago lost my bonus daddy, and today my brother, both of his sons are gone. Pray for my family, Zion.
That's Huvia?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, ooh, sis. We know what it say because, you know, when it hit like that, some people be like, well, I'm glad it hit like that, so I ain't got no more coming after this. But to know the Most High ain't gonna put more on you than you can bear.
Yeah.
You know, so know that, and whether it was today or 50 years from now, death is an appointment we can't escape.
That's right.
So y'all, with that, we're gonna get right to it. We got a few things to go over. What's that, sis?
Prayer for it, all of the elders on the board, you guys, you're gonna need strength and encouragement as well.
Thank you, sis, so much.
And
Appreciate
our
it.
shepherd, Mercedes Montgomery, my daughter.
And what's her name?
Mercedes.
Mercedes. May the Most High bless you, Mercedes, and keep you strong. Shalom, Mark. Come on in. Shabbat shalom, y'all. Come on in. Shalom, sister. All right, y'all, we're going to get right at it. Y'all's spiritual protective dome. And so we want to, what you got, Tuba?
Genesis, Miss Pacha asked in the chat, can we, could you ask if we could go over Passover time as it pertains to our new year?
Yeah, we'll get into that. And when you're saying pertaining to the new year, so, you know, we're forecasted for April the 21st, and that's the Passover. You have to understand the Passover and Feast of Unleavened Bread are technically 2 separate feasts, but they're tied into one.
Yes.
The 14th day at evening, that will be like Sunday evening, at evening, is how you would get ready and prep your Passover. That goes all the way to Monday at evening, the 14th day. And then the 15th day of the month at sundown, it starts the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Now, it gives us instructions on when we start to see the crops budding, know that your springtime is coming in. But right now, y'all, it's snowing in certain places in California. it dropped down in the 30s or 20s last night. You know, some crops or you know, some things started to sprout and then they died right back out because the cold freeze. You know, so y'all, we try to keep this moving correctly and try to be on point as best we can in the land of our captivities. But don't let nobody hem you up because it's rehearsal for when the Messiah come back, y'all. We're rehearsing this in the land of our captivity. You know, so trying to be 100% nailing it accurately, then we need to have a horticulture expert go out to the fields and point out things. We have our brother Shamunah that he gets word from Jerusalem and he sends us the information to say, okay, they spotted it. Well, we still 8 hours behind them. So time, and they have warmer seasons that we do. See, we have brutal winters sometimes. So y'all, we have to be careful on letting anybody point and say you're doing it wrong. But if anybody's doing it in the dead of winter and it's snowing, you don't have your months together. And usually what caused that is they're only going off of the lunar calendar. And what I mean by the moon only, they're lunar worship. You have to include the sun. Or what do we need the sun for?
Right.
Moon calendar is the best you're going to get. Max is 360 days a year. Sun, no matter how you slice it, is going to do 364.5 days a year. Those two have to work together. But the moon decreases, not the sun. So you got to be certain that your decrease, you're counting it in like you should. Because the sun going to be where the sun going to be. It never stops going up and down. It ain't never been a sun that say, well, okay, I'm going to back off today, and I'm only going to do 15 hours today. No, the sun is continually, and they work together. Get into some the book of Enoch, chapter 72 through 80, will explain it perfectly. And we just had, was recorded as the sign of the equinox. That's where day and night is split equally. That's a sign that starts off too. What you got?
The reason that the individual asked that question was because of the leap year, they say.
Well, right, but that only affects the moon. It don't affect the sun. The leap year has nothing to do with the sun keeping our weekly Sabbath. If the sun don't keep our weekly Sabbath, we'll be trying to do the Sabbath off of the moon cycle, and it will not work. You know why? Because you'll never be able to count Pentecost after Passover. You're either going to end up with 36 days or 54. The script says 7 complete Sabbaths and then 1 day. It must end in 50. So you have to be careful of your count. Yo, and we're doing the best we can. So, yeah, and then times you'll see that where an extra month is added due to this situation. Sometimes there's 13 months. You know, that covers kind of that leap year situation. But know this, y'all. The beginning of the year is the beginning of the year of our feast. Don't get it twisted. You know, because you still have to count for those 4.5 days extra per year for the sun. If you ain't got nowhere to put them, you're going to have to go back to your math table. Is that good too, Bob?
Yes, sir.
Okay, y'all, let's get right at it. Y'all spiritual protective dome. And y'all know how we get down. Y'all, our one and only high priest prophesied in Psalm 110 and Hebrews 7 chapter after the order of Melchizedek. He brings forth the law to every male, female, rich, poor, free or bond, Jew or Gentile. And the Messiah's blood is the dome, y'all. Let's not be fooled. Without his blood, 7th chapter and Psalm 110. Without his blood, there's no dome of protection for you. You finished. If you're non-messianic, you condemned already.
Turtle doves on deck.
Oh, boy, look here. You're going to need much more, a whole trunk load of them, and they still ain't going to do you no good. So, y'all, let's get this right where we need because of the time that we're in. Y'all, we're closing into these last days. Things are happening. There's so many false messiahs out here showing up, y'all wouldn't believe it. Every time you look up, it's a new one.
Right.
So let's get right into it, y'all, and understand this dome of protection. Matthew 24, we're going to start about verse 11. We're going to go to 16. It's some very important information that the Messiah was telling us before he touched back down on this planet. And the location of where he'll touch down. So that should be the first tip off if somebody telling you that they the Messiah. And they ain't never been over to Jerusalem. We need to find their Mount of Olives.
Right.
And it ain't Cahokia Mountain.
Start at 11.
Yeah, 24 and
11.
yeah.
Where we going?
Matthew chapter 24.
You can go ahead, wherever you want, bro.
5.
You might as well
If
start
you
at
going
1.
to 5,
Yeah, 1 through 16.
All right, family, we're going to be reading in the book of Matthew.
Chapter 24, verse 1.
Chapter 24. We're going to start the reading in verse 1.
Yeah.
Everybody a second to get there? Everybody there? Let's get some understanding, family. And Yeshua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple.
Yes, sir.
And Yeshua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another,
That's right.
that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world?
So these two things is what the disciples asked. When you coming back, and when will be the end of the world, so we can let go of all this wickedness.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 4.
Yeah.
And Yeshua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive
See,
you.
take heed that no man deceive you. You understand? Because Satan can't basically put a free case on you. He get his workers to do it, his minions to do it, because he has to accuse you. So there's no way that he'll change the law, change any language, because all you have to do is say, well, I didn't know. It was changed up on me. How we protect ourselves if you allow a beast to change everything, and then we get our eyes put off if we can't read?
Right.
Or write, we're in slavery. You see, it go against the grain, but what Satan do is he get a lot of individuals that looking for that quick fix, that quick gratification. See, and he don't ask them to go through no training. He just say, how bad do you want it? We want it. He said, I'm going to give it to you right now. You can learn as you go.
Right.
So that's why that psalm was so important that he read, when you see the wicked get riches.
Right.
Don't be stunned by
Right,
that.
right. Don't
The
be
devil
afraid.
pay up front.
Yeah.
It's like for any of us who try to be chemical entrepreneurs. They front you first, don't they?
Yeah.
If you come back, you get fronted again till you get on your feet. So in like manner, but the Most High say, you got to prove yourself to me.
And that's fast money.
And that's fast money. It goes quick. But the Most High say, no, I need to see before I give you something. You have to earn it.
That's right.
Like you have to get your credits to graduate. You understand? You have to, your parents say, give me good grades. You get something. But when the devil give gifts, he give them right up front.
Yeah.
And you owe him.
Right, that's it.
Miss that payment and see what happens.
Boy, don't play.
Let's get some more.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many.
Shall deceive many. I don't care how they twist their names up. The son of Yahweh, that turtle head dude. Got a boy out here calling himself Elohim and into all type of madness. Don't pay them no mind, y'all.
Right.
Because if you do, you're going to be deceived because they're men. And I want y'all to truly understand that these are men that the spirit of the devil has jumped in and say, just say you the Messiah. Don't worry about it. They ain't going to check you anyway. They won't. They looking for one. They looking, they dying to be somebody's fool.
Yeah, they ain't gonna doubt you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Ukraine, Russia, them ISIS just killed 143, didn't they, over there?
At a concert.
Yeah.
See that ye be not troubled.
See that we be not what?
Not troubled.
Uh-huh.
For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
So the wars don't mean nothing at this point, y'all. Don't be troubled by it. Don't start trying to make a maneuver on anything. Because he told us, I'm going to send you to Babylon. Don't worry about what's there. You got a time period. You got to be there. Build ye houses. Take ye wives. I'm coming to get y'all.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
For nation shall rise against nation,
Uh-huh.
and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places.
And we seeing that right now. It's flooding in Virginia. It's cold. It's snow in California.
Yeah.
You know, Haiti is on fire. And I'm talking about literally because there's some maniac called barbecue. Barbecue going to work. I don't know what seasoning he using, but barbecue going to work, bro. Go ahead.
Verse 8.
And we pray for our family because we got a lot of family members in the faith that still have family. Our Glorvins, y'all know them, Do It For The Nation, and a few other members we have. Go ahead.
Verse 8.
Yeah,
All these are the beginning of sorrow.
yeah.
Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you.
What they gonna do?
They will kill you.
Uh-huh.
And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
For the Messiah's name's sake, the gospel. If you hated about something else, you'd have messed up with the devil.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Verse 10.
Yeah.
And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many.
Well, how many they gonna deceive?
Many.
Yes, sir. See, and that's what we have to understand. There's a pool of 2/3 of Israelites that they get to fish through,
Right.
let alone all the Gentile nations.
Exactly.
So that's why it means many, meaning more than the majority.
Right.
Go ahead.
I'm going to read a second witness to that. It's Matthew 7, verse 15.
Yeah.
Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing,
Uh-huh.
but inwardly they are raving wolves.
Yeah, see, and that's what we're talking about, y'all. Don't get caught up in the mind game and get yourself caught up.
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 12.
Yeah.
And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
See, and that's talking about the law of many shall wax cold. You'll now have people saying, well, yeah, that was old. That was under the old covenant. Our God say he the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow, don't he?
Right. That's it.
So ain't nothing old. Only thing you're new finding out is new of the wickedness. Remember, wickedness, there was a war in heaven. Ain't no wickedness before that.
Right.
So you're just finding out about the war in heaven, and you think you latched on to something new. You just latched on to new deception for yourself.
Right.
Get some more, bro.
Verse 13.
Yeah.
But he that shall endure unto the end,
Uh-huh.
the same shall be saved.
And y'all, we're talking about enduring to the end. We're talking about crossing the finish line.
Right.
Like how they do in a marathon. It don't matter what place you come in,
Right.
as long as you cross the line. You'll see
Finish
people
it.
crawling on their knees and hands trying to get across that finish line to finish the marathon. And may just let stretch out right past the line.
Right.
But you made it.
Right.
You endure to the end. Let's get some up.
Verse 14.
Yeah.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations.
How many nations?
Unto all nations.
Uh-huh.
And then shall the end come.
So this has to happen before the end ever comes. All of planet Earth have to be aware of what's taking place. So nobody on Judgment Day can say, I didn't know. I didn't see it coming.
Right.
It's right in your face. Go ahead.
Verse 15.
Yeah.
When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation,
Uh-huh.
spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. Whosoever readeth, let him understand.
And we're going to get into a little bit of that Daniel 7 today. Go ahead.
Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains.
So you see, we got a fleeing process even at the homeland.
Right.
So if you're talking about going home, you're going to run again? You understand what I'm saying? We're not saying don't go home. We're just saying have your running shoes still on. Go ahead.
verse 17. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes.
So y'all have to understand this. You could be at work and you got all of your supplies stored up. When that horn blow, you can't go back home.
Nah.
I gotta go get this water.
No, you can't go back and get that because the highway is gonna be blocked off. Yep. It could be nuke hitting in your area. You can't go back.
What about my ready meals?
Oh boy, none of that. If you ain't got it in your
my
car,
MREs, I can't go
or wearing a backpack at work. Go ahead.
Verse 19.
Yeah.
And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days.
Because ain't nothing worse than hearing a crying baby and ain't nothing to give them to satisfy them.
Right.
Y'all, that's a terrible time.
Exactly.
And you on the run.
How far you want to go, bro? That's good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. 'Cause
I know you will. Yes, sir.
No me.
So y'all, let's get right at it. Zechariah 14, because we see that the Most High says he gave them this speech on the Mount of Olives. You know, and he told them this mountain going to flee to the mountains, and there's a reason we have to flee to a mountain, because there's a spiritual dome protection there if you're in Jerusalem. And the reason being, every nation on earth is pointing there, if they have nuke warheads, pointing at Jerusalem. You have to understand that. What you're talking about may come to America can't compare to the weapons that's turned toward Jerusalem. And you got Netanyahu saying that I don't care if America or whoever don't back me. I'm finna clean Gaza out. I don't need y'all help no more.
Yeah, I heard that.
So y'all, we are in them times, y'all. The homeland, and once they hear somebody say, well, America backing off, they ain't gonna support them. Watch what Hamas do. Watch what Hezbollah do when they know their big brother is saying, y'all gotta fight your own battle then at this point. If y'all don't listen to us and we telling you, you got people starving to death over there. They say, we don't care. We want all of it, and we want them gone for good. Let's get some more.
We're reading in the book of Zechariah, chapter 14, and to start the reading in verse 1. It reads, Behold, the day of the Most High cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle.
Y'all see where the battle gonna be at? All nations at Jerusalem. Not just what we talk about Persia, Iran, and Iraq hitting America. Exactly. We're talking about every nation coming toward at them. Go ahead.
And the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished. And half of the city shall go forth into captivity. And the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall the Most High go forth and fight against those nations, as when he fought in the day of battle.
Now here what we're talking about, because he gave that message in Matthew 24 on the Mount of Olives. He gonna return to the same location. Go ahead.
Verse 4.
Yeah.
And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east. And the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east and toward the west. And there shall be a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall remove toward the north, and half of it toward the south. And ye shall flee to the valley of the mountains, for the valley of the mountains shall reach unto Esau. Yea, ye shall flee, like as ye fled from before the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah. And the Most High, my Elohim, shall come, and all the saints with thee.
And who with him?
All the saints with thee. And it shall come to pass in that day that the light shall not be clear nor dark, but it shall be one day which shall be known to the Most High, not day or night. But it shall come to pass that at evening time it shall be light. And it shall be in that day that living waters shall go out from Jerusalem, half of them toward the former sea, and half of them toward the hinder sea. In think about Hennessy.
See, right.
In summer and in winter shall it be. And the Most High shall be king over all the earth. In that day shall there be one Lord.
How many?
One Lord. And his name one. All the land shall be turned as a plain from Geba to Rimmon, south of Jerusalem. And it shall be lifted up and inhabited in her place, from Benjamin's gate unto the place of the first gate, unto the corner gate, and from the tower of Hananiel unto the king's wine presses. And men shall dwell in it, and there shall be no more utter destruction. But Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Most High will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. And their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
And see, with this dome around us, that's basically just saying this is what's going to happen, because once nukes start flying, y'all, your face will melt off. Y'all, and we're talking about, it ain't no coincidence, y'all, they keep talking nuke talk now. Japan is being brought up again. But y'all, that was just hydrogen nucleus. That's nowhere near where we're at talking about thermonuclear war. And I'm talking about Chernobyl had a leak back in '83. And they say it'll take 20,000 years for a person to inhabit that land. They say animals are starting to come back around and certain things, but when you go out there, that radiation kicking so much, that's off a leak. When that thermo hit this earth and it let loose that radiation, y'all, it's going to be more in the ocean, y'all. It ain't no physical place we could run to other than this mountain that will split open and you run down the valley and close back on you, because mountains are nuke proof. Y'all understand that this is why all of the powers to be with all the money are building underground town under mountains. They dig it, but under mountains. They think we can escape world war. We'll just come out 20 years from now and see what's going on. Go ahead, Ariel.
Verse 13.
Yeah.
And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Most High shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor. And his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. And Judah also shall fight at Jerusalem. And the wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together, gold and silver and apparel in great abundance.
In great abundance, like it was when we left Egypt.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 15.
Yeah.
And so shall be the plague of the horse, of the mule, of the camel, and of the ass, and of all the beasts that shall be in these tents as this plague. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations...
That everyone that is what?
That is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Most High of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
So we see once again that those who are left out of all these nations, there's going to be a remnant of them. So that you can understand and have, you know, and they signing like Jake always say, handmade applications, servant applications, because they're the remnant. They see their power heads put down. Yes, I'll sign that application. It means nothing to me. Then I can live. But look, and they saying, but we only had y'all 400. Why y'all get 1,000? Well, we've been in 430 or 400 twice.
Right.
Babylon was 70. Assyria. So yeah, we gave y'all almost 900 years of servitude. Why can't we get 1,000? You understand? That's how long we've been in servitude. 400 in Egypt. We 400 here. We're 70 in Babylon. What's them numbers adding up to? 430. That's 860 plus 70 is what?
930.
930. And then we got Assyria, Lamentations 6th chapter tell how many people we've been slaves to. So ain't no need in crying for 1,000. What they crying about?
Just to be crying.
We've exceeded 1,000 years.
Boy, look here.
When you add up all the captivities, because we've been captive to
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Is we a
every
homeborn slave?
superpower on the nation.
Every superpower.
Every superpower that existed, every kingdom that existed on earth, we've been captives to.
And none of them have lasted over 500 years. Not one.
Go ahead, bro.
Hey, before you go any further,
Yes, sir.
on that 13, the great tumult, can you describe that?
Well, a great tumult, just war and confusion everywhere. It seems like it's happening all over the world. It's like what's happening in Chicago and New York with the migrants and, people coming in and all that great tumult, It's an uproar everywhere. It seems like everywhere you turn on the channel, just turn it off. I just can't take it. You hear people say, that's why I don't watch the news no more. It's just too much talk, too much. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Right.
How many children have we seen shot in this area in the last week? 2
Right.
weeks.
Exactly.
Boy.
Too many.
Go ahead.
Verse 17.
Yeah.
And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain.
No rain, no crops.
No crops.
Go ahead.
And if the family of Egypt go not up, and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague, wherewith the Lord will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
See, and so he's saying the heathen that don't come up and keep, it won't be all the nations in the world. Jerusalem couldn't hold, it's 365 million white people in America, let alone 40 million of us.
Right.
And then you got 11 other tribes, and then you got all the nations of the world. No, they sent up representatives. One person speak for this nation, they come up. Yes, we're here, I'm here. Our nation back at home is doing the feast. So they are, and I'm coming back with the blessing so that we may have rain. You understand what I'm saying? So, it ain't hard. It ain't like everybody gonna try to flock to Jerusalem.
Right.
New Jerusalem, Shalom out Rich. New Jerusalem is 144 furlongs all the way in a square. That's about the size of Texas. Texas is almost overrun. What you gonna do with the whole world in there?
Right.
Trying to get in. Let's get some more.
Verse 19.
Yeah.
This shall be the punishment of Egypt, and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
And see, and this kills all of that foolishness that every other nation gonna be dead except Israel. So you're saying there may be a tribe in another nation that won't come up? I ain't going up to Jerusalem.
Right.
Yeah, I know I'm Ephraim or Dan or I'm this tribe. I ain't going up. It don't make sense, y'all. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's other nations that will be left that must come up. Go ahead.
Verse 20.
Yeah.
In that day shall there be upon the bells of the horses holiness unto the Lord. And the pots in the Most High's house shall be like the bowls before the altar.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, every pot in Jerusalem and in Judah shall be holiness unto the Lord of hosts. And all they that sacrifice shall come and take them and seize therein. And in that day there shall be no more the Canaanite in the house of the Lord of hosts.
So Canaan will be run out, and that's been since the promise of Abraham. The first thing it was the land of Canaan. The Canaanites. Their land mass will be wiped out because of Leviticus 19 states that you can't remove a man's landmark. So since they got off the ark, those individuals who were given land, that land will still be after their name. Even though it's called Jerusalem, it's called the land of Canaan. And once the Messiah wipes the earth clean, then it can be renamed to the Lord our righteousness. Jerusalem. You understand what I'm saying? But still, it's all called Canaan throughout the Bible. Because he don't move a man's landmark. That's why in the prophecy, it still say Gog and Magog. those land names stay the same. People move in and out of those land masses, like Russia moving into Gog now, and then China into Magog, but they moved their families into that already established land mass. That wasn't those who got off the ark.
Right.
Or you have to put a white man on the ark.
Right.
You understand? You have to put different races on the ark. You had Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And now Abraham's blessing to his 3 sons, or his offspring, who were to get the blessings. Jacob, Esau, and Ishmael. Those 3 groups of people move in and out of those 3 land masses of the boys that got off the ark. Right. And they conquered them land. But Esau, his blessing, like I said, Elijah, with that sword, he moved through. He cleared all of Japheth out of Russia, so to speak. And now he's in there. You can't look at them like they got off the ark and been there at that time. Or you got to look at who's over in Jerusalem right now saying that they Israel. Then they have to be Israel if you go with that perception. You understand? Because they said we went back home.
Right, and see, that's why
Slow Mark Steve.
the earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Yes, sir.
Isn't until Job, until Esau had started conquering all these lands.
Yeah. Yeah. And he went through with the sword.
Right.
He conquered Hawaii. See, and this is what we're talking about.
Through the violence, but see, that was his blessing from Genesis 27.
Yes, sir.
Is that he will conquer the earth, the fatness of the earth through violence, because that was his nature. If you look in the books of Jubilees, chapter 87, 87, 85, 86, it talks about when Isaac and Rebekah's last words, they talk about how Esau was no good from his birth.
Yeah.
That there was no righteousness in him ever. He was born, he was just wicked from birth. That he would never do no righteousness, no goodness was ever in him. That he would always turn his back on covenants that he made, pacts that he made.
And notice what you said, like you said, with pacts that he made. So he was given the law.
Yeah.
You know, Isaac loved him, but he just broke his covenant whenever he felt like it.
He said, I formerly loved Esau more than Jacob.
Yeah.
But there was no righteousness found in him. Therefore, my love transferred to Jacob more so, because Jacob was always was good. And it also breaks down how, you know, through his violence and how his sons put him up to turn his heart against Jacob.
Yeah.
And they wanted, and so the hunt, I was reading to Josiah last night. And this was the start of these white people's hatred towards black folks from day one, because of the birthright and then the blessing. But they vowed to hate and kill us from that day. So it's nothing new. This hatred for Israel, the white man, so-called white man's hatred for Israel is nothing new. It started way back in the womb.
Yeah.
They are twin brothers.
Yeah.
But that hatred started way back then.
But if you will, Elijah, real quick, while you're speaking on
what
that.
I just wanted to say is that he had like you said, he had the opportunity to learn righteousness.
Right.
But it also says in the book of Jubilees how when they were sent to Shem, to Noah, to Shem, to learn the righteousness and the instructions of the Most High, Esau didn't want to go. He wanted to go hunt. So he refused to learn the righteousness of Elohim.
Like Cain.
He was like, man, bump that. I'm going out hunting.
Like Cain.
Just like Cain. So they both had the opportunity, but what I was trying to look into is always something about the twins.
Yeah.
It's always one evil and one good one.
Yeah.
And it's like Satan gets in there to corrupt that seed, at least one, to go against the grain of Elohim, the laws of righteousness, you know, to love thy brother as thyself. So if he can corrupt one twin, then...
Boy, that's terrible, ain't it?
That's terrible. But
and it's good that they wasn't identical.
I just noticed the pattern of that.
Yeah.
Is that the fact it happened with Cain and Abel, who were twins, and then Esau and Jacob.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep doing some research to see if that pattern turns up in other twins and everything. But I'm sorry.
About what, sis? About Esau and Jacob. Well, what we have to understand so we don't mix up. Once they're given the covenant and you go, that's the only thing that can make you evil. Like Romans said, the children had done neither good or evil at the time. Once they're given instructions, is what it was. Like Rebecca and them was so mad at Esau, they like, look, you can't go up there and marry them Canaanites. Right. He like, I don't care what y'all say. I'm going to get me an Ishmaelite woman and I'm getting me a Canaanite woman. Right. And that made Isaac so angry at him, but that means they were given the laws of marriage.
Right. He
just hard disobedience.
Right. Because, well, actually, they told him not to marry no Canaanite, so he went and got an Ishmaelite.
Yeah.
Like that ain't no good either.
Right.
So you call yourself obeying by going to get a different nation.
Yeah.
Boy, you crazy.
Is that kind of like Samson?
No, that was a little bit different.
That was for a purpose.
Yeah.
That was for a particular purpose. Now, sometimes the Most High puts us in situations for his particular will. So certain things may come to pass. So that was one of those situations.
And so we don't get it twisted, because you have individuals that'll be hollering death to Esau. Well, that's going to be a problem with the law. If you will, Elijah, hit Deuteronomy 23.
Yeah.
And
you have to also understand in the book of Obadiah, though it says
7 and 8,
all his nations shall be cut off by slaughter.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean every last one of them, because there are some who have vowed. Then you have to talk about Cornelius.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cornelius is Esau's offspring too. Even though he's of the Italian band, he's still under Esau's He's still under Esau's banner. So what does that do for him, who had more faith than all of Israel?
Yes, sir.
Even Christ himself said.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? So not all of Esau will be doomed to slaughter, but those who have given, just like he says, though the children of the kingdom shall be thrust in outer darkness. That doesn't mean of all of Israel will be thrust in outer darkness, but those who have taken the side of Satan shall be, who denied Christ.
That's right. Hit that real quick. Deuteronomy 7 and 8. 23, 7 and 8.
Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 7.
Thou
shalt not abhor an Edomite.
What does abhor mean? Huh? Is that what it means? Let's look it up, just so we be certain on it. So, that we get that out of our mind, because you'll think that God is telling you to do this. But he ain't told you that. But he didn't say the whole nation. It's like individual.
Yeah, one.
You can't lump everything into one ball of wax.
Right.
What abhor say?
To regard with extreme repugnance.
See, that like we say, we don't want to be lumped into all one thing, with some crazy Hebrews. Right. We don't like them lumping us into all. They say don't lump us into all as well. The Most High say don't lump them all in well. There are going to be Edomites out there. I put you in their powerhouses so that I can show my power. Jacob was Joseph the same way in Egypt. But read that verse 8. We'll get some good understanding. Go ahead.
Continuation of 7.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother.
What is he?
Thy brother.
See, we can't get around that. So no matter how we look at this, we can't let our hate supersede what Most High set aside.
That's right.
You can't hate what he say. I'm going to straighten him out. I'm going to straighten this group out. Or who else going to be your servants?
Because even though Esau did it and proclaimed that to Jacob, Jacob still didn't. He was delivered into Jacob's hand.
Yes, sir.
So the Most High, Jacob was like, man, I ain't got to hate you, because for your violence towards me and your hatred towards me, you broke the covenant.
That's right.
So you'll be delivered in my hand. I ain't got to worry nothing about you.
And when you understand, not to cut you off too bad, Genesis 30, what Jacob, the ladder, Jacob's ladder, that was about the fear of Esau coming back, because Esau been mad since that birthright. He like, you tricked our dad. You tricked him, you cunning, you the slick one, you the dog, nigga. That's basically what Esau is saying. It ain't me, it's you.
He said, ain't your name Jacob, the supplanter?
No, yeah, so, you don't be mad at me, so it's just letting us know not to hate all. of the Most High's creation. You can't hate everything because he ain't created nothing to fail. You know what happens if you start to get on that doctrine? Then you think everybody in Sodom and Gomorrah, they were born to be wicked. That wasn't the case, because Lot was there, wasn't he? Yeah. And did they go through and tell them, cut your wickedness out? Cut your wickedness out. They had many people go through that and tell them to cut the wickedness out. They just wouldn't. So they got annihilated. It didn't have anything to do. And what were they annihilated for? Was it if they were born wicked, then why does their law say, Leviticus 18, that they were doing for the wrath to come on them? If you born, you don't place what they are. If they're coming out of the womb like that, they're not coming out of the womb doing what they were doing. Men on men, women on women, on bestiality. They didn't come out of the womb like that. They just started to do that and legalize it like it's going today.
Yeah, it's just learned behavior.
Like what was this fitness place? Planet Fitness. They coming out because the ladies say, actually, I went in the bathroom and there's a translator in there shaving with a skirt on. And they terminated her application because she said something about it. She said, I went in there and saw him shaving in there, thong, and I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell is this? Well, now, do you know it's a man in there shaving? Oh, that's Betty. Used to be Billy. It's a woman now. He's okay to be in there shaving.
They say that they even have rooms in the school systems where boys can go to school and they got a room specifically where they can go in and put on girls' clothes.
Absolutely.
And then change clothes
before they go home.
And don't tell your parents.
And this is what we're talking about, that type of wickedness. See, this is what we're talking about. Don't even tell your parents what's going on in school. So now they enter household, y'all. This is what we coming up on, the days of Noah and the days of Sodom, because that's what's happening. Say, just keep watching. It ain't got bad yet. Go ahead, Steve, then Ben, I get you.
Confirm that it doesn't hit our area already.
Already, huh?
Yeah.
With your baby girl.
And they don't have to report anything to the parents. The teachers and get in trouble for reporting that to the parents.
Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, well, they lost $400 million and they stopped right after that happened.
Right after the stock, look, because it plummeted. Ain't nobody want to see that, man. You know, but this just letting you know the same way with Budweiser, how much they lose.
Oh, man.
Billions, didn't they? Had brothers who love Bud Light kind of trembling about grabbing a can of Bud Light. Drink your Bud Light. It ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying?
You think you gonna switch?
Yeah. You think like you drink your Bud Light, you gonna want a skirt. Yeah. Go ahead.
Half the executive board had half of the executive Tabernacle gave.
So, but they don't care about losing money.
That's why they put it out there like that. They didn't trip off.
Yeah.
They didn't think they would get that backlash. But half of them down there, man.
And they ain't said we sorry about doing it yet. We'll take the loss.
But you know,
They'll be back.
You know what though? It's been like a long drawn out plan to to how we got to this point, man. I was watching on YouTube or Facebook a Biggie video, and they was pointing out like it was this lady. You thought she was a lady, but it switched scenes. She in the bathroom, standing up at the urinal, talking to two dudes.
What?
Yeah. And it was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy because it's like, dang, they've been putting this stuff out in videos and stuff.
And they gonna flood it with
back
this.
then it just went over everybody's head.
It just went right over
Because wasn't nobody tripping off of it then. You know.
What you got, Sister Nail?
This young lady I knew, she worked in human resources department at this company I worked at. And we were saying, how it was unfair. We had this male person there that would dress and drag, was given permission to use the women's restroom. Well, a lot of us had a problem with it. The young lady in human resources told us that we needed to go on record as being having homophobic issues.
Oh boy,
that way we had a defense if we were ever in that situation and something popped off, we would have on record that we have issues with that, because just like they have to accept them for being transgender,
right?
They have to accept you.
us for being homophobic.
Oh, absolutely.
So that was a defense. That's a defense to that to work on.
See, the deal is, y'all, what we're talking about is the abhor part. If they hear that in your speech, can't stand none of you this type of behavior, people, you understand what I'm saying? You have to be extra careful on the language if you abhor. You have to be careful. You have to protect what you believe. You know what I'm saying? But if you running your own company, you ain't got to worry about it, do it. But when you at their company,
right,
you have to take what's called diversity training.
No, when you run your own company, you do have to worry about it because they'll become a customer.
I'm just gonna
if you left, go ahead.
This was in the Daily Mail today. It says murderer who was transferred to women's prison after killing mom and dad and claiming to be transgender is caught having sex with female inmates.
See, look, because
he's a flipper.
Look, because your instinct, your mind tells you that when you see a woman like that, you walk up in the shower like that. Your womanhood, or if you think you a woman, ain't gonna be, yeah, girl, pass me the soap. No, it ain't gonna be like that. Your mind gonna go back to a man. Just like if you attack one of these transsexual men that wearing fingernails and all that bouncing around, sassy this person and saucy that person, say something to him and watch the man jump out of him. What you say? Voice get deep. Yeah, I tell you what, start pulling fingernails off, snatch that wig off, let's go in the streets. You like, no, I ain't going in the street. Not with all them demons you got on you, beat the hell out of me. They still a man. Don't get it twisted. They still a man. And you'll be laying on the ground knocked out.
Yeah, that'll be the most
and then he'll be putting his wig back on, straightening it, and putting his nails back where they supposed to be, and you stretched out. Boy, look here. The boy used to be over in Illinois named Buster.
Oh, not Buster.
Boy, Buster was a linebacker. Boy, Buster used to send running backs back 10 yards to the back, you know, back where the quarterback was. Y'all, they still a man, y'all. Y'all have to understand that. But watch every time if they get in confrontation. Yes, sir.
He was always in the club.
Always in the club, but watch it, y'all. They're going to always turn back to what they are.
Yeah, Buster kick your ass.
So, but y'all, just looking at that again, y'all, Deuteronomy 23:7. And did you finish verse 8?
Nope, we ain't
Go ahead.
Finish 7.
Oh, let's finish 7 then. Get it.
Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian.
Right.
Because thou was a stranger in his land.
Don't forget about where we was there, because we can't forget what Pharaoh did for Joseph. When we came into Egypt 70 souls.
Right.
And we were given the land to Joseph. You gonna hate him for that?
Right.
It's like people out here, oh, the white man, the government, this or that, and you know, and pull out an EBT card. You understand what I'm saying?
Your protest is a little off.
Your little protest is a little off, bro. So he's just telling us, don't forget about what somebody did for you. Don't never let it move your mind. And you put everybody into one basket.
Right.
That Pharaoh loved Joseph.
Right.
And when Jacob died, he told every Egyptian on the planet, if I don't see y'all out when his coffin come past, if y'all ain't out there, I'm killing you and all y'all family. Now don't be at the funeral when it goes past.
Right.
See, this is what we're talking about when you get into that Jasher 54 chapter. This man loved Joseph.
Yeah.
Made him second in command.
Right.
Let's get some more. We finished that?
Verse 8. The children that are begotten of them shall enter into the congregation of the Lord in their third generation.
And this is why you can't hate them all, because you may have children by him. That means if you hate him, then you hate your own children too, or the children of somebody that may be and have an Egyptian wife like the daughter of Dan. Her son went crazy though and cursed the Most High, but it says his mother was an Egyptian. I mean, his mother was an Israelite, but his father was an Egyptian. So you have to understand those things, and it went through her lineage, not the Egyptian lineage. So you would have to curse her offspring. You would have to curse Timothy, because Timothy, what is that, 16th chapter? It tells his mother was an Israelite, but his father was a Greek. So if you hate all of them, you got to hate Timothy too. You understand? Like you said, you got to hate Cornelius. We're not opening the door for Gentiles to just come in. We ain't got no door to open up for them. The Most High opened the door for them. He said, who else will then be your servants? if you go by these camps, you are. Because they're already promising you, Ariel, you'll be captain of 1,000.
Really?
What race will it be? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Who you going to have serving you in the kingdom but your own people if you go off of that doctrine. But real quick, grab that Amos 9:11, yeah, 8 through 15. Just real quick, so y'all have two witnesses for the last days, because people eventually say, oh, y'all trying to open up the door for Gentiles coming. We ain't opening up nothing. We ain't got no power to open the door. We trying to get the door open ourselves.
Exactly.
Hope he don't tell us, you better not go through that door, Israelite. That's what we have to be focused on. Because he said he started with Israel first when he cleaned house, ain't it? But we're going to get this, y'all, and we're going to move on because we got a few scripts to go over.
Amos chapter 9, verse 11.
Yes, sir. You know I'm talking about, Ariel.
Amos chapter 9, verse 11.
Uh-huh.
We'll wait on Daniel to get there.
Oh, I'm good. I know what to say. I got it marked down.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
In that day will I rise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruin, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom.
Possess the remnant of who?
Edom.
That means left over, don't it? Yes, sir. Go ahead. What else it say?
And of all the heathen which are called by my name, saith the Lord that doeth this. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the trader of grapes him that soweth seed. And the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt.
See, so we didn't write this. This was before the Messiah was brought into the world, and Amos had already saw that vision.
Yes, sir.
And he said the remnant of these nations. That's why Zechariah 14 is saying, if they don't come up. If you saying all the other nations going to be killed, then this prophecy is still talking about Israel being a servant to Israel. It ain't no such thing. It ain't no such writing. But they already practicing it now. And brother, you be a captain of 5,000. And you'll be a captain of 50. And so you thinking right now, I'm dreaming, and you already picking out who you get. Yeah, I'm going to get Leroy's ass, and Earl at the tire shop, and oh, Johnny, I never did like him. I'm going to have him fetching me fresh wine. Because we seen it already when the bro said, I fetch wine for this guy.
Yeah.
So you imagine if he having trouble on this side of the world, what it's going to be like on the other side.
So you would want somebody you don't like to serve you?
Boy, look here, that's their mindset, because that's when they put them over the people.
That don't make no sense.
It don't make no sense, do it? Come on, y'all, let's get caught up. Just wanted to run that real quick. Let's get right back at it. Joel chapter 2, 1 through 11. And then we're going to see this protective dome in Egypt. Y'all, we ain't got nothing to worry about. Whatever happens to this nation, it ain't got no concern with us if we obeying the Most High, because he didn't bring us here to destroy us and make promises that he gonna come and get us. Y'all, we don't deal with a deadbeat dad. No, he keep all of his promises. So y'all, just like we said when we see the earthquake right before the second coming of the Messiah, he gives us instruction. He said it's going to be just like it was in the days of Uzziah, the king of Judah. All we have to do is go back, find the days of the king of Judah, Uzziah, and the earthquake. You can Google that right now. It'll lead you right to the scripture. Whatever that says about that earthquake, that's the same type of earthquake gonna hit, because the Bible uses references, so you can't pick your own references outside the Bible. Everything that the Bible speaks of as sin, there's always somewhere you can go, so you don't get outside the Bible and your own private interpretation. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Like this court system do, which mimics the thing. The defense attorney championing your cause, or the prosecutor. Y'all, as in the case of Wade versus Roe, you know what I'm saying? Or Brown versus Brown. Yeah. And they saying how that judgment was made. This is the exact same situation. So how they was judged, I think this individual should be judged, because that went down and is listed. You understand? So everybody reach back for a judgment so you don't falsely judge nobody or overcharge somebody. You know, because we want to put it on them all the time. Like Jake said, if he had power to throw lightning, he say every heathen would look like Mo Stooges or split top butter bread. He say he just have it crease right at the top of the head. Straighten up. So we don't have that power. Go ahead, that tickle little secret like that. Go ahead, y'all. Joel chapter 2.
Joel chapter 2, verse 1.
Yes, sir.
Blow ye the trumpet in Zion.
Do what?
Blow ye the trumpet in Zion. And sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness.
What kind of day?
A day of darkness and of gloominess. A day of clouds and of thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, and nothing shall escape them.
So we see that dome is right here. See, it's a fire before it, they're lighting the way. We can see which way we're going, but back is just pure darkness. We got the light, y'all. Right. We inside the dome. We got the light, and we're going to see the same thing in the book of Exodus, but it's saying the same thing when we come out of here. We'll have that protective light. They'll be in darkness, shooting arrows at their own self, because they can't see. Y'all understand? But there's always going to be light for us. Always, if we obey, there's always going to be light. But go ahead, Zed.
Verse 4.
Yeah.
The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array.
So we see like the noise of chariots on top of a mountain. No chariots come up on no mountain. You better not try to get in a chariot that we know and try to climb a mountain in, and you're going to flip over. So it's telling you it's going to be supernatural, or what we call the chariots of the Most High. See, because they always land where? On mountains. Go ahead.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
Before their face the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb upon the horses, the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief.
Like a thief, but they ain't thieves. Go ahead.
The earth shall quake before them.
See, we got that earthquake again, that Uzziah earthquake. This going to be the signal. Go ahead.
The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army. For his camp is very great, for he is strong that executed his word.
Yes, sir.
For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible.
And very what?
And very terrible. And who can abide?
It's the same thing in Amos, when it say, is Amos 5:18? What is the day of the Lord to you? Y'all, you may think you ready, but we ain't seen earthquake and darkness hit at the same time. What you gonna do when the ground rumbling and you can't see? Where you gonna step safely?
Right. That's a terror within itself.
So he telling us be prepared to get took on that dome. Let's see the same thing when we come out of Egypt, because this is the final coming out of this Egypt, so to speak, or the world that's geared up and affiliated with Egypt. This Egypt. Exodus 10. 21, 23. So we're just going to go through that, and we're going to see that this was a plague on them. But what's coming, y'all, on April the 7th may have meaning. Exodus 10. April 8th. Okay, thank you, Ben. But it won't be exactly the same, y'all. So we have to be careful that we don't get cherry picked, because this is probably the third or fourth plague that hit Egypt. So we at least need to get those plagues in first. But nothing touched Israel. Do y'all know in the land of Goshen the sun was shining and we were sitting out just sipping mint juleps and chilling? Wasn't a fly in Goshen. There was a dome over Goshen, the land of Goshen. Not one fly, not one cattle died, one locust died. What's that but supernatural power?
Not a frog.
Not a frog, no blood in the water.
Water was still clean to drink. Because remember, they sent the officers down to Goshen to check on, see what was going on with the Israelites.
They said they chilling.
Hey, they chilling.
They're chilling.
They chilling.
They feasting and everything.
And you see it now because no tornadoes hit us. No major floods hit us because we don't have the resources to recover. Ain't no way that water up to the Arch Step. If that dike had a broke over in the East St. Louis, everything would have flooded out over there. Up to Belleville. Let's get some more. Where we at? Exodus 10, 21. And y'all, we just running this because we're here in 3 days, but April 8th only gonna be 6 minutes. So y'all, we don't want to mix the two, because this gonna make us 2 days, 23 hours, and 54 minutes. Short.
Right.
Go ahead.
Shorter than short.
Shorter than midget on his knee.
Boy, that's short. Boy, that's super short. Go ahead, like.
Exodus 10, 21.
Yeah.
And the Most High said unto Moses, stretch out thy hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt.
Y'all, you talking about dark. I'm talking about you could feel it. Man, I feel dark.
Feel it.
You can't see. I'm talking about thick darkness.
Who is that touching me?
Thick.
He call it
It's
thick.
darkness.
He said he call it thick, gross
Oh,
darkness.
boy. Gross darkness. What you say, like? Let's get some more.
And Moses, verse 22. And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days.
How many days?
3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for three days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwelling.
Y'all see that? So we don't have to worry or be dismayed at the sign of heaven, because it ain't going to technically affect us. And it's only lasting 6 minutes. They selling tickets. They letting children out of school. It's an event to them. It's money making. Yeah, it's money making to them. So y'all, we don't have to worry about that, because we going to have light, especially if you got the Messiah in your heart. You always got light, no matter what. But it say they couldn't even move.
Right.
They wouldn't move. You wouldn't move. I'm talking about it's so dark, you light a candle, and the candle can't get past the darkness. That's called thick darkness. That's what those fallen angels were, or the watchers were put in thick darkness. Can you imagine hanging upside or falling in that darkness? You just waiting for, what am I going to hit? What am I going to hit? What am I going to? And you just keep falling. Let's get some more. Exodus 13, 18. Y'all, we're going to see y'all's spiritual protective dome, y'all. He ain't set us up for failure.
That's right. 13 what?
18.
18.
Yeah, through 22 license.
Exodus chapter 13, verse 18.
Yeah.
But Yahweh led the
Here's some
people.
pages flipping like. Hold on one second. Y'all good?
You ready?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
But Yahweh led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea. And the children of Israel went up, harnessed out of the land of Egypt. And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, Yahweh will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones away hence with you.
So you see that in Genesis when Joseph, he said, don't leave me here in Egypt.
Right.
Take me back home.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And they took their journey from Succoth and encamped in Etham, in the edge of the wilderness. And the Most High went before them in the day in a pillar of a cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light.
To give them what?
Light. To go by day and night.
By day and night. Y'all see how he got us?
Yeah.
What we worried about? What else it say?
He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people.
From before the people, y'all, so we understand it clearly. Let's hit another one while we're in here. Exodus 14. We start about verse 19.
And the angel of Yahweh, which went before the camp of Israel.
Who he went before?
The camp of Israel. Removed and went behind them. And the pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel. And it was a cloud and darkness to them.
To them, to the Egyptians,
But it gave light by night to these. So that the one came not near the other all the night. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea. And the Most High caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night. And made the sea dry land. And the waters were divided. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground.
What kind of ground?
Dry ground. And the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on the left.
So y'all see, and when the Egyptians tried to pursue us, that's when they got drowned. But can you imagine just walking through just any river and it's dry and you just see that wall like a invisible fish tank. And you see fishes swimming by and this water's way over your head, and the Egyptians say, we're going to jump in there too. We're going to get in there too. Oh no, hefty price to pay. And y'all, it's a documentary out there, ain't it, about the chariots in the Red Sea?
Yeah,
what was it called?
Called,
and y'all can see them.
Yeah, it's called Exodus, the Red Sea.
Yeah, you'll see those chariots.
Yeah,
still in the Red Sea.
The coral reefs, they eat up whatever it latch holes to, and it becomes that form. So they can see, and they measure by the wheels, the spokes, that they were matched on the same hieroglyphics during the time of the Exodus.
Yes, sir.
Chariot wheels at the bottom of the Red Sea is the video I have.
Yeah. Chariot wheels at the bottom of the Red Sea. Y'all see that to prove, so anybody say this didn't happen, archaeology will find it.
It's called Exodus Revealed.
Yeah.
That's the documentary.
Yeah. So y'all have to understand, scientists are trying to catch up with creation. Creation ain't worried about science. Science is trying to figure out how was this created. You know ain't no DNA coming from no Big Bang and set in order like that, and seasons run like they supposed to do every year. Leaves turn from green to yellow and red to let you know the seasons are changing. Right. You getting this from a Big Bang. No. Get out of here. No, science is trying to catch up with creation. Let's get it, y'all. The book of Jonah, chapter 1 and chapter 2. They small chapters, y'all, but because this is the last day, we need to get some understanding that Jonah was put into a protective dome.
Yeah, it was.
Book of Jonah, chapter 1 and 2. And y'all, and this one the Most High say, I told you, Shalom, Mark, you gone? All right.
Thank you, Elijah. I got
You ready?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
The book of Jonah, chapter 1, verse 1. Now the word of the Lord came on to Jonah, the son of, how you pronounce that?
Amittai.
Yeah,
I think I'm close. Yeah, go ahead.
Amittai.
Yeah.
Saying, arise, go to Nineveh, that great city.
What kind of city?
That great city.
And
cry against it, for their wickedness is come up before me.
So Nineveh was in the same position of Sodom and Gomorrah. I smell Sodom and Gomorrah. It smelled like the French Quarters in Louisiana. It smelled like the Walk of Fame in Los Angeles. I'm talking about a strong urine and feces in between a building that ain't been washed away. It's just a funk. And that funk finally reaches out. I'm talking about super funk. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
But Jonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord, and went down to Joppa, and he found a ship going to Tarshish. So he paid the fare thereof, and went down into it to go with them unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord.
See, because he don't want to go, that's like somebody right now, man, go tell Joe Biden he better get it together right now. You understand? Or the king of a nation. Go over there and tell Netanyahu he better get this stuff together. Well, you see what he doing. Jonah like, well, no, I don't want to mess with him right now. Not the king of Nineveh. It's a superpower.
He got stuff on his mind.
He got stuff on his mind, yeah. Yeah. Lord, I don't know for sure if that was you said that to me. But see, y'all notice that he took a ship of Tarshish. All that means is, ships of Tarshish mean just modes of travel. It's like Carnival Cruise Line. It's like TWA Airlines. It's like any way you move larger masses of people, they just call them ships of Tarshish. Like the Messiah say, I'm going to send the ships of Tarshish. We're not going to be on no boat for 2 months traveling back to Israel. I mean, it's 40 million of us in here. Do we gonna be going backpack like this?
No.
Who fought it? I don't know, man. We'll be there in another month.
At that point, does it matter?
Yeah. But go ahead, bro.
Verse 4.
Yeah.
But the Lord sent out a great wind into the sea, and there was a mighty tempest in the sea, so that the ship was like to be broken. Then the mariners were afraid, and cried every man unto his God, and cast forth the words that were in the ship into the sea, to lighten it of them. But Jonah was gone down into the sides of the ship, and he lay and was fast asleep. So the shipmaster came to him, and said unto him, What meanest thou, O sleeper? Arise, call upon thy God, if so be that God will think upon us, that we perish not.
See, their gods wasn't delivering. This ship is still tossing and turning, and he's sleeping, boy, like he done had a good night out. Go ahead.
Sleeper.
Yeah.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
And they said, everyone to his fellow, Come, and let us cast lots, that we may know for whose cause this evil is upon us. So they cast lots, and the lot fell upon Jonah.
See, lots has always been around, and it's a deciding factor or mechanism that we always use to wherever the lot turned to see what's causing our problem. See, it's the same thing they doing, but they start worshiping them lot castings, you know, and because it was a sign from the Most High, or it was a sign from the devil, you know, because he'll have you casting lots on the boat, and you ain't hitting nothing. Because that lot casting is set. We'll give you $100 today, but we want 1,000 back on your next 10 visits. You understand? So that lot is a little bit different. This lot was to see or to stop evil. Y'all understand? They cast lots for the Messiah's robe in an evil situation. Who want it? I got it. I roll a set. Go to me. So y'all, we have to be extra careful. These things ain't new. People just take them and make money off of them. You know, you have people walking around with dice in their hand, clickety-clack. I mean, they think they the best. They carry dice, looking for a good dice game. Rent money in pocket, car note money in their pocket.
Better check them dice.
Yeah, you better. It could be loaded, huh, boy?
Yeah, hella loaded.
Go ahead.
Verse 8.
Yeah.
Then said they unto him, Tell us, we pray thee, for whose cause this evil is upon us? What is thine occupation, and whence comest thou? What is thy country, and of what people art thou? And he said unto them, I am an Hebrew.
What did he say he was?
I am an Hebrew.
Uh-huh.
And I fear the Lord, the God of heaven, which hath made the sea and the dry land. Then were the men exceedingly afraid, and said unto him, Why hast thou done this? For the men knew that he fled from the presence of the Lord, because he had told them. Then said they unto him, What shall we do unto thee, that the sea may be calm unto us? For the sea wroth, and was tempestuous. And he said unto them, Take me up, and cast me forth into the sea. So shall the sea be calm unto you. For I know that for my sake this great tempest is upon us.
And he knew in his spirit, this called the Lord, I'm trying to escape what he told me to do.
Right.
He ain't gonna let me get away.
Right.
When the Lord give you a mission and you done received the good grace of the Lord, and then you want to decide, oh Lord, I thought I was through. I got another test.
You better get on over here.
You better get over here. Go ahead, bro. What else to say?
Verse 13.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, the men rowed hard to bring it to the land, but they could not, for the sea wrought and was tempestuous against them. Wherefore they cried unto the Lord and said, We beseech thee, O Lord, we beseech thee, let us not perish for this man's life.
Uh-huh.
And lay not upon us innocent blood.
Lay not upon us what?
Innocent blood.
Uh-huh.
For thou, O Lord, hast done as it pleased thee. So they took up Jonah and cast him forth into the sea, and the sea ceased from her rage.
Can y'all imagine that? I mean, it's up and down. I mean, you know how them waves have a ocean liner looking like it's a toy boat in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As soon as they threw them off, it just calmed down. Everything just calmed down. Like after a tornado, how the sun come right back out, you see a rainbow, like ain't nothing ever happened, but destruction everywhere. Right. What else to say, bro?
Verse 15. I'm sorry.
15.
So they took up Jonah. No, 16.
Yeah, 16, okay.
16. Then the men feared the Lord exceedingly.
Uh-huh.
And offered a sacrifice unto the Lord and made vows.
You see that fear, the Most High know how to get you, how to get your attention. They immediately offered a sacrifice. Lord, please have mercy. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 17.
Uh-huh.
Now the Lord had prepared a great fish to swallow up Jonah.
What had the Lord done?
Prepared a great fish to swallow up Jonah.
So when we look up this word prepared, already fixed for this occasion. Because I see you ready to get on that ship. Oh, he finna try to get away, huh? He gonna get on over there. Let me go ahead and fix a room inside of this great fish. Let me fix him up a little private room up in there. Because I see where he going with this. Go ahead, what else to say?
And Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights.
See, and this is why the Messiah say is only thing y'all get is like the parable of Jonah. You know what I'm saying, Lysa? Yeah. That's the only thing y'all got coming. Right. You know, and I'm gonna be in the earth like he was 3 days and 3 nights. Prepared, no corruption get on me. And y'all know all the acids and juices that would have been in that whale's stomach. There's no way he could have survived. But there's a key word in there called prepared. That's right. Like when the Messiah say, I go back to do what for you? See, this place is set. It's already set by the Most High. Jonah was in there sitting in there probably watching cable.
No, he wasn't watching cable.
Well, you don't know that.
He was digressing.
But there was
transgression.
But look, there was no slime on him or different things like that. It was just like we went through the Red Sea. That's right. Now the shoe got wet. He prepared that for us to go through. Absolutely, bro. But we're going to come back to chapter 2 real quick. I just want to hit Acts 28 because the same situation happened with Paul. The Bible is consistent that when ships start just going crazy out the blue, they say somebody on here God don't like.
And for the record, that word is tempestuous.
Tempestuous. You couldn't take it no longer.
I was reading something else, but I know it wasn't sounding right to me now.
I'm like, it must be right because he ain't
saying that word. Right.
And when I heard you say it the second time, you know, I'm like, oh Lord.
I'm like, it must be right. Or when I said it the first time,
he was down there ready to start shaking.
I was shaking.
I'm like, shoot, he'll correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, just for the record, bro.
Say it again.
Tempestuous.
Tempestuous.
Yes.
Acts 28th chapter. I tell you what, I want to get right to maybe 27, but 28 is when they crash. Let me see, 27. He's sailing away at surfing up. Okay, hold on. We can start 28.
Chapter 28, verse 28.
Okay, I tell you what, start about 27. I want to pick this up, and we'll go into 28.
We in chapter 28.
Chapter 27.
We go 27, and we start about 40. Yeah, right there. And we'll go right into 28. Because this same thing had happened when Paul and them got shipwrecked, but the difference was
27, verse 4. Yeah, 27 and 40.
And then we're going to go to 28 chapter.
We need to look at the see first.
All right, Acts chapter 27, verse 40. And when they had taken up the anchors, they committed themselves onto the sea, and loosed the rudder bands, and hoisted up the mainsail to the wind, and made toward shore. And falling into a place where two seas met, they ran the ship aground, and the forepart struck fast, and remained unmovable, but the hinder part was broken with the violence of the waves.
With the violence of what?
The waves.
Y'all, that's violence when them waves tear up a ship. Go ahead.
And the soldiers' counsel was to kill the prisoners, lest any of them should swim out and escape. But the centurion, willing to save Paul, kept them from their purpose, and commanded that they which could swim should cast themselves first into the sea and get to land. And the rest, some on boards, and some on broken pieces of ship. And so it came to pass that they escaped all safe to land.
Yeah, so see, you see, they was just hanging on to. They was hanging on to pieces of wood, you know, anything they could to float. Now hit 28 and 1, and we'll see that Mark 16, when the Messiah say, when the Holy Spirit is on you, when y'all read Mark 16 and 15, he say, "No, these gifts shall follow you. If you eat anything poison, it ain't going to affect you. If any serpent bites you, that ain't going to affect you." So Paul, full of the Holy Spirit, this 28, let's get this.
Acts chapter 28, verse 1.
Yeah.
And when they were escaped, then they knew that the island was called Melita.
Yeah.
And the barbarous people showed us no little kindness.
No little kindness. So what does that mean? Big kindness. Look, if it's no little kindness, then the only other word left is big. So they showed us big kindness, but it's letting you know these were barbarians. They didn't have no gods, they didn't know, but they had hospitality.
Right.
They showed us big kindness. Go ahead.
Verse 2 again.
Yeah.
And the barbarous people showed us no little kindness, for they kindled a fire and received us every one, because of the present rain and because of the cold. And when Paul had gathered a bundle of sticks and laid them on the fire, there came a viper out of the heat and fastened on his hand. And when the barbarians saw the venomous beast hang on his hand, they said among themselves, "No doubt this man is a murderer."
What is this man?
A murderer. Whom though he hath escaped the sea, yet vengeance suffereth not to live.
So they're looking back at like Jonah, like you thought you got away because you floated in on them sticks, you know, you got to safety, but the Lord after you.
Right.
Soon as you get out there, a snake bites you. The sea was rough on you, but the snake bit you. Go ahead, what else it say?
Verse 5.
Yeah.
And he shook off the beast into the fire and felt no harm. Howbeit they looked when he should have swollen or fallen down dead suddenly. But after they had looked a great while and saw no harm come to him, they changed their minds and said that he was a god.
So right then they like, look, his hand should be this big.
Right.
And he should be falling out. They tell him, look, 10, 9, 8. He should be dead here and saying he just kept grabbing sticks. They had to change their mind. Wait a minute, it ain't him. He ain't the one.
Right.
What else to say? Just go down a couple more verses, bro.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
In the same quarters were possessions of the chief men of the island, whose name was Publius.
Yeah.
Who received us.
What they do?
Received us.
Hospitality again with barbarians. Go ahead.
And lodged us 3 days courteously. And it came to pass that the father of Publius lay sick of a fever and of a bloody flux, to whom Paul entered in and prayed and laid his hands on him and healed him. So when this was done, others also, which had diseases in the island, came and were healed, who also honored us with many honors. And when we departed, they laded us with such things as were necessary.
So with everything we needed right there, they took care of it for us. Y'all talking about hospitality. See, this wasn't inside. You know, and what all we're just saying is that who you think is the worst people on earth will be the ones who really look and respect you. That's why I say a well man don't need a doctor. That's why, yeah, absolutely. But barbarian people, they like, we don't know what. They may scratch and just eat a fly or whatever come out of their fingernails, you know, but they had good hospitality. We see y'all wet getting out of there. Right. Let's build a fire for you. Right. And immediately Paul started healing they sick. You know, but this is what the Most High talking about. A well man don't need a doctor. Look, if all we did is just kept this same group in here and nobody was added, what we gonna do with each other? Brother, you was about 2 seconds late today. You normally get here at 1:30 on the nose. You was 1:30 in 2 seconds. Go ahead. Because we just war against each other. Go ahead.
God takes what the devil intends evil and works it out for the good.
Absolutely, because he used everything. There's nothing wasted. He's not going to waste the demons and hold them. No, I'm going to put y'all to work. Y'all going to serve a purpose until y'all go to the lake of fire. I'm not going to waste y'all. So you want to be evil, he send the evil to them. Shalom, man. You finna come in here and get some of this fire. Shut up in my bones.
Just like fire.
Yeah. So y'all, we can go back. Yeah, we can hold there, y'all. Let's get right back to it. Jonah chapter 2, huh?
It was Publius.
Publius? Yeah. Okay. That sounds too close to something else. Yeah, but let's say,
Ariel, you coming after the fact, man. What's going on?
I didn't want to stop it, man. You know.
We're going back to Jonah chapter 2, y'all.
Yeah.
I'll be waiting on you to stop me.
Yeah.
Like,
he over there sleeping.
No. He handling 3 or 4 things at one time.
Okay.
They call him multitasking.
Yeah.
Jonah chapter 2. And y'all, we're going to see this dome that he protected him in even after he didn't do what he told. See, because what happens when you see a powerhouse, you figure what I'm going to do with them. You know, they much stronger than me. He said, don't worry about how strong they're. Jeremiah did the same thing. He said, them some hard-headed people over there. He's like, well, I'm going to make your head harder than theirs. They're using Quikrete. I'm using a stronger concrete. That's going to chip off what they got.
Right. Yeah. It's on me?
Yeah.
The book of Jonah, chapter 2 and verse 1.
Yeah.
Then Jonah prayed unto the Most High, his Elohim.
What'd he do?
Prayed to the Most High, his Elohim, out of the fish's belly. And said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto the Most High, and he heard me. Out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heardest my voice. For thou hadst cast me into the deep, in the midst of the seas, and the floods compassed me about. All thy billows and thy waves passed over me. Then I said, I am cast out of thy sight, yet I will look again toward thy holy temple.
And you notice Daniel will say the same thing, looking toward the holy temple. No matter what, I'm looking toward Jerusalem. No matter what damage I'm in, no matter where I'm at. Just point me toward Jerusalem. Mm-hmm. See, y'all, this is what men never forget, and this is what we never can forget. Our safe hold, our go-to when we find ourselves in trouble like this. This belly of the beast could be the hole in the penitentiary. Point me to the east wall in there while I'm in the hole for 3 months or something. You understand?
Right.
Darkness. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Says, go ahead.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
The waters compassed me about, even to the soul. The depth closed me round about. The weeds were wrapped about my head.
Yeah.
I went down to the bottoms of the mountains. The earth with her bars was about me forever.
Uh-huh.
Yet hast thou brought up my life from corruption, O Yahweh, my power.
So, no, these weeds and stuff wrapped around his head, just seaweed and stuff. When he got through in the ocean and it swallowed him up, he was wrapped all up in this so he could see, I didn't escape death. But no, he can't offer up no prayers if the whale's belly was full of water, because he would have drowned. Especially off of stomach acid eating you up. Go ahead.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
When my soul fainted within me, I remembered the Most High.
Uh-huh.
And my prayer came in unto thee, into thine holy temple. They that observe lying vanities forsake their own mercy. But I will sacrifice unto thee with the voice of thanksgiving.
Uh-huh.
I will pay that I have vowed. Salvation is of the Most High.
Now what we're going to do, we're going to skip chapter 3. Y'all read that on time, but come down to chapter 4.
I can read that 10.
Yeah. Okay.
And the Most High spake unto the fish,
Uh-huh.
and it vomited out Jonah upon the dry land.
Right. So, and then he asked him again, I tell you what, go and run this.
You want 3 too?
Yeah, go and run 3 too, yeah.
Okay. Chapter 3.
Because something very important in this protective covering.
And the word of the Most High came unto Jonah the second time, saying, Arise, go unto Nineveh, that great city, and preach unto it the preaching that I bid thee. So Jonah arose and went unto Nineveh.
What'd he do?
He went unto Nineveh.
Got his mind straight.
That's right.
Go ahead.
According to the word of the Most High. Now Nineveh was an exceeding great city of 3 days' journey. And Jonah began to enter into the city a day's journey. And he cried and said, Yet 40 days, and Nineveh shall be overthrown. So the people of Nineveh believed Yah.
What they do?
They believed Yah. And proclaimed a fast. And put on sackcloth, from the greatest of them even to the least of them. For word came unto the king of Nineveh, and he arose from his throne. And he laid his robe from him, and covered him with sackcloth, and sat in ashes.
Boy.
Amen.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
And he caused it to be proclaimed and published through Nineveh by the decree of the king and his nobles, saying, Let neither man nor beast, herd nor flock, taste anything. Let them not feed nor drink water. But let man and beast be covered with sackcloth, and cry mightily unto Yahweh. Yea, let them turn every one from his evil way, and from the violence that is in their hand. Who can tell if Yahweh will turn and repent?
See, we have to be careful. I'm just holding you at that comma, because people think repent means you're a sinner.
Right.
Repent means just to turn away from.
Right.
So the Most High said, hopefully the Lord will return repent and turn away from what he's about to bring on Nineveh. Maybe he repent, turn away from it.
It says
It
let them
says
keep reading.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who can tell if Yahweh will turn and repent and turn away from his fierce anger, that we perish not? And Yahweh saw their works, that they turned from their evil way. And Yah repented of the evil that he had said that he would do unto them. And he did it not.
And he did what?
He did it not.
Let's get into that 4th chapter.
All right.
Chapter 4. But it displeased Jonah exceedingly, and he was very angry.
What was he?
He was very angry. And he prayed unto the Most High and said, I pray thee, O Elohim, was not this my saying? when I was yet in my country? Therefore I fled before unto Tarshish, for I knew that thou art a gracious God, and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repentest thee of the evil.
So Jonah is trying to tell the Most High, look, that's why I didn't go, because I knew you was going to forgive them. See, that's a problem in our mental, that where you already know you forgive. You don't know that, Jonah.
Right. Exactly.
You don't know that till you go and they repent. What words you got that you know they repent? If you had that word, you would have never got on that ship and been in the belly of that whale. Don't talk this to the Most High, but the Most High is just trying to show them, look, I'm just trying to show you. Nineveh got it down. You the problem, Jonah. Let's get some more.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
Therefore now, O Elohim, take, I beseech thee, my life from me, for it is better for me to die than to live. Then said the Lord, doest thou well to be angry? So Jonah went out of the city and sat on the east side of the city, and there made him a booth, and sat under it in the shadow, till he might see what would become of the city. And the Lord Yahweh prepared a gourd, and made it to come up over Jonah, and it might that it might be a shadow over his head, to deliver him from his grief. So Jonah was exceedingly glad of the gourd.
So you see how the Most High just put a shade tree over him, you know, so that he, look, I got your back, man. Look, you was in there. I got your back on this, and I ain't going to let you burn up out here either. Go ahead, what else to say?
But Yahweh prepared a worm when the morning rose the next day, and it smote the gourd that it withered. And it came to pass, when the sun did arise, that Yahweh prepared a vehement east wind, and the sun beat upon the head of Jonah, that he fainted and wished in himself to die, and said, it is better for me to die than to live. And Yahweh said unto Jonah, dost thou well to be angry for the gourd? And he said, I do well to be angry, even unto death.
So he said, now you mad about the protection I put on you, because I destroyed, I let a worm eat. You mad at me. I fixed that for you. Boy, ain't that crazy?
Yeah, that's how it is.
Somebody helping you and you mad at him. Go ahead, bro.
Then said the Most High, thou hast had pity on the gourd, for the which thou hast not labored, neither made it grow, which came up in a night and perished in a night. And should not I spare Nineveh, that great city, wherein are more than 60,000 persons that cannot discern between their right hand and their left hand, and also much cattle? So
he just explained to me, like, look, I'm taking care of you. Why wouldn't I take care of this many people? 60,000? You know, and you got a problem with this. You mad? You want to lay in my comfort zone, but you don't want to do no work. Jonah, don't hobo on me. So that's another level of y'all we're telling you about. The Most High gonna always protect you when you obey. Yeah, things will make you angry and you think, okay, is the Lord against me? But how else would you to survive without that gourd coming up over? Where you think that came from? Just come up out of the ground like that. For whose sake? Yours? And you a runner? No, bro. That's what we have to be careful of, y'all, when that protection is on Daniel chapter 7, y'all. We ain't got long.
Ye of little faith.
Ye of little faith.
Better recognize what side your bread is buttered on.
And look, we the same thing. That's a good one, bro. The same thing, you know, with Peter when he was walking on the water. He's like, oh, you think I'm gonna let you put 2 feet, make a couple steps, and then let you drown? Come on, Pete.
That's right. Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. Who got it?
This boy.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 1. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and vision of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea, and four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man. And a man's heart was given to it. And behold, another beast, a second, like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said, thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh. But this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given unto it. After this I saw in the night's vision, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured the break in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns.
So y'all, this is matching up with Revelations. So remember, Daniel was put to sleep, and then John the Revelator picked up the rest of this. So he's explaining what I'm seeing, and y'all, he's trying to picture in war kingdoms, and what he's picturing is their symbol, so to speak, that's on their flags. Like we the Lion of Judah, you know, you'll see a lion, different things. This is what he's seeing. But he's looking past 2024 right now. He's way past there. You know what I'm saying? He's looking into the future. And he's showing this last powerhouse. This powerhouse. And he's saying it's way tougher than anybody else. And when you got a powerhouse that has 1,800 nuclear warheads, it only takes 2 to destroy entire planet Earth. What are they gonna do with the other 1,700 and so what do they waste? What gonna happen with all that nuclear weaponry underground or still in the silos? If we do go back home, what are you gonna do about that? All it takes is an earthquake and we leaking and we through. The earth has to be washed clean again. That stuff they got nukes underwater. They got nukes on satellites up in space. Let's get some more.
Verse 8.
Yeah.
I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened.
So you know this is the Antichrist, this last little horn. So, and you see, because the second coming is happening here. So he say, you see everybody standing ready for judgment. Go ahead.
I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake, and beheld, even to the beast was slain.
Even to who was slain?
The beast was slain.
So we see we're in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 right here. So Daniel is just seeing it aforehand, so to speak. Go ahead.
And his body destroyed and given to the burning flame.
What was it given to?
The burning flame. As concerning the rest of the beasts, They had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time. I saw in the night vision.
What you see?
And behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days. And they brought him near before him.
So he's seeing the Messiah being brought to the Ancient of Days.
Right.
Like we had a boy down on Pay Tell. He said, "This the only problem I have with the book of Daniel to get around this, because they were non-messianic.
Right.
But they don't know how to deal with this Daniel right here, the Son of Man being brought to the Father. See, that's a problem for them, and they just, well, you know, that's the problem. Why is it a problem? Because you don't want to believe in the Messiah?
Right.
He's your dome covering. It's the only thing that your safety and protection. If you don't believe this, then you're going to have to start trying to figure how to weasel out of this and make it be somebody else.
Because
but
they
it ain't.
They want to be it. They want to
Yeah.
be the Messiah.
Yes, sir.
So they don't want to believe that. They
Right.
can't, because it knocks them clean up out of the equation.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 14. And there was given him dominion.
What was given him?
Dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
So, Elijah, real quick, just hold it. Just give me a John, what is it, a 13:18, or 18:13?
About what?
You condemned already.
John 13.
Yeah.
And also John 8:21, where you die in your sins.
Yeah. But just saying, so y'all go there on your own. But what we're just saying is, when the Messiah say, if you don't believe in the Son of Man, you condemned already. See, and they got this thing called some kind of martial rasha. What is it called in that term?
Yeah, the Masharala or
Council.
Masharala Council.
And this is just a Pharisee and a Sadducee council. That they don't care what you believe, long as you believe you Israel. You can be a non-messianic, you can be a Sadducee, you can be full of Egyptology, long as you know you a Hebrew. See, and then they come up under this council, and you actually think you're in something. They force women to sign these contracts when they get married. So they have to go under this council. They can't be recognized in no court of law.
Right.
And how are you going to have a non-messianic judge you about the Messiah? What is he going to say? What are your sins? Your sins would have to be believing in the Messiah, wouldn't it? I mean, how you going to be part of a council like this, like you think you going to invent something here for all Israel to chase and follow, and half of you are criminals and rogues and pulling all these stunts? And you think we going to adhere to some kind of paperwork like that? We had sister down here trying to pull that. We're going to fill out a document. And if everyone would sign off on the document that you will obey the Most High. We didn't do that at Mount Sinai. And you think you're going to print up something at Office Depot and we're going to sign that and mean it? Yeah. You got to be crazy. Right. So we've been hearing about that Masharala Council. We run it away from around here. Right. Like we run all of them away. We did it in the early 80s, and we still run them away. Get away from us with them false doctrines and them false documents that don't mean anything.
Right. I remember that.
And they actually think we going to bow to that council like we're going to go, yeah, it's me, man. Daniel Solomon, man, yeah, I heard about this council. Get the hell out of here. That's what it'll be. Well, right. You understand what I'm saying? Because we done been running that away from around here. Yeah. They don't like it. Every time they brought up for it, they kicking and fighting. They fighting now like the devil about that paperwork. That means absolutely zero. It ain't got no seal of approval on it. Right. Nothing stamped, and you gonna go stand before these rogue Negroes that don't even believe in the Messiah. And they expect that we tell them, get away from here. We independent like the Messiah and the disciples. Yeah. Independent of the Pharisees. If our righteousness don't exceed that Masharala council, we have no part in what? The kingdom of the Most High. They don't trust it themselves. Who wrote it up, though? That's what I'm talking about. Who get to sign off on it? And where do the punishments come from?
Right. But that's what the Most High talking about. They go about to establish their own righteousness.
Their own righteousness. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, bro. Where you at on that?
John 3:18.
Yeah.
He that believeth on him is not condemned. But he that believeth not is condemned already.
How you gonna have a counsel for that if I believe that and I'm looking at you, you sitting up there to your judge and you don't believe, and I'm gonna let you judge me? Is that crazy, y'all?
Super crazy. That's being stuck on stupid and glued to dumb.
Boy, that's some serious glue, ain't it, Elijah?
That's what they call sodish, ain't it?
Sodish.
That's why they call it crazy glue.
Crazy glue. You. Yes.
Yeah, crazy.
Go ahead, bro. Read down to yeah, we're gonna finish that out. Go ahead. Where you at? Verse what?
15.
Okay.
Come on, me. Verse 15.
Yeah.
I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body. And the vision of my head troubled me. I came near unto one of them that stood by, and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me, and made me know the interpretation of the thing.
And y'all see how easy it is when we struggle with something we can't understand. All we have to do is ask the Most High. Make it known to me what you're trying to tell me. Make it plain.
Right.
Let's see if he made it plain for him. Go ahead.
Verse 17.
Yeah.
These great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Then I would know the truth of the four beasts, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured break in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom there fell, even
before whom 3 fell.
And before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spake great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints, and prevailed against them.
What did he do?
And prevailed against them. Until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Thus he said, the 4 beasts shall be the 4th kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down, and break it in pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise.
So y'all see how he keep explaining it so we don't have to guess at it. The 10 horns are just simply 10 kings. It's like the, what do they call it, NATO? Yeah. So everybody represented up there at that kingdom. So that's all it's telling you. Go ahead.
And another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first. And he shall subdue 3 kings, and he shall speak great words against the Most High.
See, we're into 2 Thessalonians, so we're seeing this 4th beast is the Antichrist. He's got world domination, everybody listening to him. It's a one world government at this point. He's had to put down a few kings that wouldn't join up. You can get down or you can lay down with the Antichrist. So he had to put them down. So nobody, and I'm talking about now, you're joining people in America, Russia, China. Everybody got nukes.
Right.
This is a powerhouse. This is iron teeth. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Everybody bring their warheads to the party, and y'all turn over the suitcase to this one individual that mocks the Most High. They like, he got to be the man. Right. Talking about God like this, and God ain't doing nothing. Let's get some more. Yeah, the new Nimrod. Go ahead, bro.
25 again.
Yeah.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
What he gonna do?
Wear out the saints of the Most High. And think to change times and laws. And they shall be given unto his hand until the time and times and the dividing of time. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion, to consume and to destroy it unto the end. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. Hereunto is the end of the matter. As for me, Daniel, my cogitation much troubled me, and my countenance changed in me, but I kept the matter in my heart.
So he see that this is matching up with Revelation, like when it say it's gonna come to an end, but there's gonna be another great slaughter. This is what John the Revelator said. Y'all gonna be killed like they were in that first message. So y'all, we have to prepare our minds for the resurrection. Look, because it's gonna come upon this earth and they're gonna ask you a quick question. First, give me that cell phone out your hand. So that's all your control and all your thoughts right here. You can't make a move without this at this point. All business is going through that. They're gonna shut this off and start cutting stuff off, and then they're gonna cut you off. But you got to stand firm and endure until the end, because there ain't nothing we can do. No. You understand at this point, but trust in the Most High and know He gonna put that protection around you.
That's right.
But they're going to get busy. Ain't no need us misunderstanding that. But that protection dome that you got, that you don't have to worry about it, because guess what? It's already written. It ain't like we don't know and it's just coming up upon us. We're like, it's here. It's at the door. And when you get the call, don't worry about showing up. Your job been eliminated. And you're going to go around the line. Man, you get a call from work. Yes, I did. You get a call from here. Everybody unemployed at this point. Yeah. You want your phone back. You want your liberties back. Come on down here and pledge to the Antichrist. We got a new national anthem from him. When you hear that sackbut and sultry, bust them kneecaps open. Get down on it. Boy, look here. Just pray it be not in the winter. Let's finish this on out, y'all. We're going to get into, that was the earthly part of this. Now we have to get into the visions of the heavens of these things, so we understand where that dome is. If we were to be put down by the Antichrist, where our holding spot will be. It's called the third level of heaven.
That's right.
Paradise. We're actually, if you make it, you go to the prepared place, the New Jerusalem that's coming down. You already in it. Lay back when it hit earth. You get out looking, oh, we here. Testament of Levi we going to, if y'all got, y'all pull it up on PDF. We ain't going to read, but they short chapters. And we got a couple more, y'all. We're going to get out of here. Boy, probably on some Nat Turner type time.
Yeah.
Right.
You talking
too much, ain't I?
Yeah,
want an awful lot for $2 on the thing. If y'all got this script, it's page, it's 177 where the patriarch start. 181 is where we're going on page 181.
Page 181 is where Levi started.
Well, hold on if y'all got a PDF it. Testament of Levi. And y'all see, these are the testament of the 12 tribes in the last day. So y'all, this is what we have to see, because if we change prophecy, then we mess with their last deathbed testimony. There's things they saw in the heavens. We can't change the testimonies that men have given their life about.
180, big brother.
Oh no, that one is
need a copy. I got
it's 227.
Who need a copy? Who got it? Who need a hard copy?
Anybody need a hard copy?
You got it? You good?
Yeah.
You good, sis?
I mean, to use right now. Not to take with you.
Oh,
okay, yeah.
You need it, Sister Joyce?
You need a hard copy?
Ben?
What page is it on there?
227 in here.
Okay.
Chapter 1.
No, we're going to 2 and 3.
Anybody got another action?
Here, Ben, you can use mine. So I'll read along with
What page is it in there?
Ben, let me
I'm finna say, Steve got
and
a
this
really
one
good,
is 180.
You hear me, Dan?
What's that?
Steve got a really good link that
Steve, right here?
Yeah, Steve. Yeah,
Steve, what's that link?
What's that link, Steve? Pseudopigrapher.com, and it got all the extra books.
which one?
Pseudo figure. Big figure. Don't get me to say it.
What did you say?
I don't know, man. Boy, y'all,
it's made up.
Boy, look here, y'all think? Yeah, y'all talking about some kind of pig doctor.
Jesse Jackass.
Okay.
Let's start at 1.
Yeah. They short chapters, y'all. We're just going to do 1 through 3. They're very short chapters. But this is Levi on his deathbed, the son of Jacob. Yeah.
Are we ready?
Let's get it.
And some may, language may seem just different, but it's the same meaning. It won't change. It's just more finer English.
Okay, here we go. Testament of Levi.
Ben, you good? Mm-hmm. Okay.
The copy of the words of Levi, the things which he ordained unto his sons according to all that they should do, and what things should befall them until the day of judgment. He was sound in health when he called them to him, for it had been revealed to him that he should die. And when they were gathered together, he said unto them.
See, and this is what we're talking about. We have to be careful. If you say the Lord spoke to me, he may tell you, you finna die.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Get your affairs in order. You be like, wait a minute, I don't want to hear the word of the Lord like that.
Right.
How soon, Lord? This weekend.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead, bro.
I, Levi, was born in Haran, and I came with my father to Shechem. And I was young, about 20 years of age, when with Simeon and I wrought vengeance on Hamor for our sister Dinah. And when I was feeding the flocks in Abel Mall, the spirit of understanding of the Most High came upon me, and I saw all men corrupting their way, and that unrighteousness had built itself walls, and lawlessness sat upon towers. And I was grieving for the race of the sons of men, and I prayed to the Most High that I might be saved. Then there fell upon me a sleep, and I beheld a high mountain, and I was upon it. And behold, the heavens were opened, and an angel of the Most High said to me, Levi, enter.
See, and once again, y'all, we see that these things are taking place in vision. This is why you have to know the law in your sleep. Because this is how the Most High going to communicate with you. You have to understand these things. You just can't wake up and say it's a bad dream. Study some Sirach 41. It's about nightmares, or when the devil may trick you and try to come in there and you be kicking the covers and out of breath when you wake up. That's not from the Most High. The Most High say, your sleep will be sweet with me. Go ahead.
Verse 10.
Yeah.
And I entered from the first heaven, and I saw there a great sea hanging. And further I saw a second heaven, for brighter and more brilliant. For there was a boundless light also in therein.
See, and it ain't no coincidence that people say, I saw the light, when I get close to death. Because your spirit, your soul is returning, so that's why that light is always there. Or people tell you, just go to the light. Well, you don't have that authority to decide at that point. You better hope that light just keeps shining like that, and hope it ain't the angel that masquerades as an angel of light.
Right.
Go ahead, what else to say?
And I said to the angel, why is this so? And the angel said to me, marvel not at this, for thou shalt see another heaven more brilliant and incomparable. And when thou hast ascended thither, thou shalt stand near the Most High, and shalt be his minister, and shalt declare his mysteries to men, and shalt proclaim concerning him that shall redeem Israel. And by thee and Judah shall the Most High appear among men, saving every race of men.
Saving what?
Every race of men.
Uh-huh.
And from the Most High's portion shall be thy life, and he shall be thy field and vineyard and fruits, gold and silver.
So this is why when you read into the Ezekiel's 34 and 35 about Zadok, the offspring of Levi, he was the only righteous one left because majority of them was wicked as hell.
Yeah.
But Zadok, he was one of David's. He rolled with David and Solomon. He was a righteous priest. And the Lord say, I'm going to give that blessing back that I gave to your father. He saw in the vision. I'm going to put it on you, Zadok. That don't mean he will be a priest in the kingdom. He will be the representatives of the priests in the kingdom. But the Messiah will be the high priest. There'll be little priests, but the Messiah will be the high priest after the order of Melchizedek. You understand? Because Melchizedek came to Abraham before Levi was even thought of.
That's right.
Abraham paid tithes in Levi, and that's his great-grandson.
Yeah.
How does that work? See, because it was already written in the promise of Abraham. Go ahead.
Verse 16.
Yeah.
Hear therefore regarding the heavens which have been shown to thee. The Lord is for this cause gloomy unto thee, in that it beholds all the unrighteous deeds of men. And it has fire, snow, and ice made ready for the day of judgment, and the righteous judgment of Elohim.
So that's where we are on planet Earth, so to speak. You understand? Because Earth is technically in outer space. If that makes sense to you. Yeah. If you were on another planet, you look at Earth, it's still in outer space, you know. It's hanging on nothing.
Right.
Let's get some more.
For in it are all the spirits of the retributions for vengeance on men. And in the second are the hosts of the armies which are ordained for the day of judgment, to work vengeance on the spirits of deceit and of Belial. And above them are the Holy One.
Who? What's above them?
The Holy One.
Uh-huh.
And in the highest of all dwelleth the great glory, far above all holiness.
So this is not saying the third level is where the Most High dwells. That's Abraham's bosom. That's the safety zone. If you be put to death by the Antichrist, you go directly there. And you get your white robe, you get your palm in your hand, but you get put back to sleep. You ain't just wandering around, you know, looking around her, seeing what's going on around her. They going up into the Sears building.
Window shopping.
Yeah, window shopping. Yeah. So it ain't that you put back to sleep on that third level. But like I say, above them is the glory, what no man can go to. That's what Lucifer looked at. He said, I want to get up that way. This sixth level ain't doing nothing for me. I need to get up there where everything's happening at. So he pulled a power move. Go ahead. What else to say, Elijah?
Verse 22.
Yeah.
In the heaven next to it are the archangels who minister and make propitiation, thank you, to the Most High for all the sins of ignorance and of the righteous.
For all the sins of what?
Of ignorance of the righteous.
See, the ignorant sins of the righteous. That means we may do some things that we didn't know was sin until we learned law. Like Paul said, I had not known lust, said the script told me that this what it is. So we've done a lot of things, and once you start studying you, Bob, you're like, wait a minute, that's wrong too?
Yeah.
And that's wrong? Hell, I did all that in my youth. What the heck? Why am I still alive? In the youth, but he know if you had a good heart, he say, it's still sin though. Right, and it still has to be judged. I just can't give you a pass because you say innocent. Everybody will go jump on that on the day of judgment. I didn't know. Yeah. It's like pleading the fifth. Right. I plead the fifth on that one. I plead the fifth on that one.
That's why he say, I judge the heart.
I judge the heart,
judge
man.
your conscience.
Right.
Because if your conscience weighed the matter,
then
you knew.
Go ahead, bro.
It's not of ignorance then.
Yes, sir.
Where am I at now?
23. Yeah.
23.
Yeah.
Offering to the Most High a sweet-smelling savor. A reasonable and bloodless offering. And in the heaven below this are the angels who bear answers to the angels of the presence of the Most High. And in the heaven next to this are the thrones and dominions, in which always they offer praise to Elohim. When therefore the Most High looketh upon us, all of us are shaken. Yeah, the heavens and the earth and the abysses are shaken at the presence of his majesty.
Yes, sir.
But the sons of men, having no perception of these things, sin and provoke the Most High.
So we can hold that, y'all, but what I want y'all to do, like, if you see in this 6th chapter, just right about the part that where, see, so it's no confusion because you saw Simeon and Levi, they say, we took Shechem about what they did for Dinah. They say, and this written in the heavenly tablet. So we don't want to get it confused that because the Bible says, you know, they killed Shechem them, they shouldn't have done that. Well, was it written? It was written, but they wasn't supposed to do it. Once the dad made a covenant with them, they were supposed to back off and just, you know, because you can't teach nobody the word of God and then kill them.
Right, you're right.
So just if you see that one verse, Elijah, right there where it said, and I slew Shechem first, and Simeon slew Hamor. That's in the 6th chapter. You see right there where that's at, Elijah?
Yeah, that's verse 4.
Verse 4.
No, it ain't no.
You may not have in yours.
Yeah, it's in that one.
Well, you got 6th chapter, right?
It's in that one. Not in this one.
Y'all got a 6th chapter in that one? Y'all
It's
got
not
a
in
6th
this
chapter?
one. No,
Okay.
not in this
So that one just kind of pieced out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I need to start bringing
All right, in chapter 6.
it has more information.
All right, this is chapter 6 of that Levi.
Yeah, just go and read verse 1. Yeah, so we get caught up on it.
And when I was going to my father, I found a brazen shield. Also, for what reason the name of the mountain is Ascus, which is near Gabal, to the south of Billah. And I kept these words in my heart. And after this, I counseled my father and my brother Reuben to command the sons of Hamor not to be circumcised.
Not to be what?
Circumcised. For I was zealous because of the abomination which they had worked on my silver. And I slew Shechem first. And Simeon slew Hamor. And after this, my brothers came and struck the city with the edge of the sword. And my father heard these things and was angry.
What was he?
Angry. And was grieved in that they had received the circumcision, and after that had been put to death. And in his blessings he looked wrongly on us.
See, so because it was written in the heavenly tablets that y'all gonna get Shechem them back for raping Dinah. They ain't gonna get away with that even if they marry him. The problem was Jacob made a covenant and their father told him, he like, look y'all, we gonna give them a break. They said we gonna turn everything over to y'all. So when you get into the Genesis, you will see that where Shechem told all his people, we gonna be Israel.
Right.
We're
gonna join.
We're gonna join them. We're gonna join their God. We're gonna do all of this, and they offered us circumcision to put away that sin that we did for Dinah. And Jacob said, "Okay, that's cool. You know, we'll go ahead and do that for that mistake that y'all made." But the Most High don't forget it because you join a covenant.
Right.
It's just the fact that we have to keep things in perspective.
Right.
You know, because it would be the same thing like what Jacob did to Esau, because technically it was already prophesied that the elder gonna serve the younger.
But see, that's a forcing of the hand.
That's the forcing of the hand. What we talking about? Daddy act like he getting a little weak around her. Right. He let them do that to our daughter, to our sister. No, we're gonna do this. It's like Jacob did, like Rebecca knew. It was told to her, don't worry about this, because they fighting in your womb. The elder shall serve the younger.
It's already marked.
And when she heard Isaac say, I'm ready to get a blessing, go get my firstborn, she jumped the gun and went out of character.
That's right.
And said, go get some goats from the field. I'm going to make it taste just like lamb. Right. It wasn't even lamb, so she was using some super ingredients.
She must have some of that Lowry seed.
Boy must have had that Lowry's or something to make a goat taste like a sheep. You know, what he loved, venison, so to speak. And then she said, look, we got to dress up too.
Right.
And we got to put that on. Now, look, he straightforward asked him, are you my very son Esau? What'd he say?
I am.
Yeah, I am. Yes, I am. So they put goat skin on him.
But he said, your voice is of Jacob, but the smell is of Esau. The feel is of Esau.
And put clothes on him.
Right.
You know, Esau's jackets and stuff. And he like, yeah, I'm him. So he's lying directly to his father.
Right. And the thing is, he knew ahead of time because he told his mother, her adventure, my father would call me near him and smell me or feel me and see that I ain't him.
And I'll get a curse.
And I'll be a curse rather than a blessing.
Yes, sir. And what she say? My curse be upon me, child. Just do what I say. Do what mama say, boy. And he went in there and got that blessing. And right soon as he went out the door, here come Esau in. He like, what, Esau? Boy, you just left here with the blessing, didn't you? He like, no, that wasn't me.
Right. But see, in that it just breaks down, because this is where we see color and a description of a different nation.
Yes, sir.
Being brought forth. And all of Esau, or all of the so-called white man's characteristics are laid out in his description.
Yes, sir.
Right there.
Yes,
so
sir.
how do you deny him not being the white man?
Yeah.
Or the progenitor of the so-called white race, European race? Because all his physical descriptions are right there in Genesis 25.
Yes, sir.
Or Genesis 27. His smell of being in the
field.
His hair, which is straight, like a goat hair, which is different from a sheep.
Yes, sir. He didn't say go get me a sheep.
No,
and
the sheep
it been nappy
is
around
wool
here.
and nappy.
And we look, and put it right here too, Elijah.
It's straight and lays down.
Yeah. Look, Elijah, and put that hair right here on the nape of his neck.
Where it's laying down all
laying
over
down.
his...
You couldn't have did that with
because it
no
goes
sheep.
from his head down, his back.
Yeah.
Boy, you're hairy.
Boy, look here. If he had a felt that sheep, he like, man, this cuckabuzz.
Yeah,
wait a minute.
This the
my finger
kitchen.
get caught
That's
up.
the
Wait a
kitchen
minute.
back
This
there.
kitchen is dirty. What the hell? This
My
ain't
fingers get
Esau.
caught. You heard that ping, ping?
Right.
But finish that up, Elijah. And I struck that city. Well, you got out of there. Where you was at? For I get it, Elijah. For I was zealous because of the abomination which they had worked on my sister. And I slew Shechem first, and Simeon slew Hamor. And after this my brothers came and struck that city with the edge of the sword. And my father heard these things and was angry. And he was grieved in that they had received the circumcision, and after that had been put to death. And in his blessings he looked wrongly on us. For we sinned because we had not done this thing again. Hold on, let me read that again. For we sinned because we had done this thing against his will. And he was sick on that day. But I saw that the sentence of God was for the evil on Shechem, for they had sought to do to Sarah and Rebekah as they had done to our sister Dinah. But the Lord prevented them, and they persecuted our father Abraham when he was a stranger, and they vexed his flock. And when they were big with the young, and Ebelam, who was born in his house, they most shamefully handled. And thus did they did to all strangers, taking away their wives by force, and they banished them. But the wrath of the Lord came on them to the utmost. So that's why when you read Genesis 49 and it says Levi and Simeon, y'all second in line for my heritage. But because y'all did what y'all did to Shechem about Dinah, y'all made us look bad. Y'all, that would be like luring people into this covenant,
Right,
people of other nations, and say, look,
we're going to kill them.
after the Passover, y'all, we're going to kill all them heathens. And you done brought them into a covenant of the Most High. Most High don't play like that.
And they can't even defend themselves.
Yeah, look. And this the worst part about it. How good is your attack mode when everybody got their legs open like this, like they just had a pap smear?
Them rocks that got busy.
I'm talking about you so sore. You can't fight back. You just fight, get off of me. Yeah, and they just slicing them down while all of them were circumcised. We're going to give you some circumcision today.
Right. Gonna circumcise your whole
Boy,
body.
they circumcised their whole body. But y'all, these last few, and we're going to call it. 2 Corinthians 12. And this is Paul going to that third level of that safety zone as well. 12 and 1. And then we're going to hit these last two, Revelation 1 and Revelation 12. Boy, you looking at that at 4:07.
Don't start.
I ain't going to start.
Yeah. He feeling himself.
Yes, sir. 2 Corinthians 12.
All right, 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 1.
Yes, sir.
It is not expedient.
Hold on. Bro, got a few pages. Flip it. You right? Everybody good? Let's get it.
All right, 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
It is not expedient for me, doubtless, to glory. I will come to visions and revelations of the Lord. I knew a man in Christ above 14 years ago, whether in the body I could not tell, or whether out of the body, I cannot tell. God knoweth. Such an one caught up to the third heaven.
What heaven?
Third heaven.
So he's saying, I didn't know if it was an out-of-body experience. It seemed so real. You know them dreams you have that's so real? Yes. This was saying, man, I'm telling this one a dream, man. I was right there. Man, I was talking to people, man. This was at another level of real. And this is what they're trying to do with those goggles and things. Put you into that consciousness where everything seems so real. You know, so he was saying, I can't tell if it was an out-of-body experience, because technically, only souls go to the third level of heaven, but they're just having a vision of them. So the place exists. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Or he wouldn't be having a vision of it. And he say, I see people there. So if you say nobody can go to heaven, but he who come down by that same John, nobody can go up to sit on the right hand of the Father but the Messiah. That's the level it's talking about, not this third level. Because we get in Revelation 6 and 9 and saying, I saw the souls underneath the altar, and they were given white robes and palms in their hand, and they were put back to sleep. That's not on the level where the Father and the Messiah dwells. That's on this paradise level. It's the Garden of Eden that they're taken to hold there until the second coming, and then they come back with Messiah. Resurrected, those the saints he bring back with him to war, to get vengeance. But they've been made white and clean. So it won't be no player, hey, there he is, that's the boss that fired me. Get his ass first and you break ranks. No. This is the way, you know, you pick him out like. So no, it ain't gonna be like that. Go ahead, Elijah. What else to say, Nat?
Verse 3.
Yeah.
And I knew such a man, whether in the body or out of the body, I cannot tell, God knoweth. How that he was caught up into paradise.
What was he caught up into?
Paradise.
See, y'all, this is what we're talking about. The Garden of Eden was taken up and getting off earth, got off of earth. This where the righteous souls go. That's where Abel went. That's where all of them go. The souls of men. Their soul is me. Now their body's in the grave, but their soul ascended up. And they can't die again. So they can't come back here to be killed again, because that means 2 deaths. And there's only 1 death under this sun allowable. That's why there's no writings of Lazarus having another funeral, because he was brought back like an angel, and he was hanging out with the Messiah. They was eating and having dinner. The Pharisees wanted to kill him. So this takes out of your mind that you will be some type of ghost or nothing. We gonna look just like we look now, but your skin won't have no form of corruption in it. You'll be the age that you die. You may be older than your mother. Like how old was Simeon right here? Like Isaac was 125 when he died, but Rachel died at 56 years old. So you see your mama and she looked like your baby sister. You understand? If both y'all show up in the resurrection.
Right.
That's why you have to be called brother and sister at that point. Everybody that make it to the kingdom will be just brother and sister, because that's my brother right there. You be like, man, that old dude or that young dude, your brother? Yeah, that's my big brother that died when he was 6. But in the kingdom, he's just your brother, and you're looking at him, you like, you my little brother, ain't you? Yeah, you got whiskers like Nat Turner over there. You my little brother. Y'all understand, because that's how it's going to wake up in the resurrection. That's what he had to explain to the woman about who had 7 husbands. Which one will be your husband in the kingdom? None of them. Because in the resurrection, there is no marriage. All of them will be your brothers, and y'all be brothers and sisters, but y'all won't be pulling none of that color purple. You have to wait on you. You had it your way, and then husband number 2 come up, and I had him my way. I remember that on earth. And number 3 come up. Oh, don't forget about me. Boy, I sure had a big wedding. Then here come number 4.
Ain't none of y'all teach us nothing.
But boy, look here. But let's just finish this up, y'all, real quick. You finished that, Nat? How far did you go down on that?
I mean, verse 4.
Yeah.
Verse 4. How that he was caught up into paradise and heard unspeakable words, which it is not lawful for a man to utter. Of such an one will I glory. Yet of myself will I not glory. but in mine infirmities. For though I will desire to glory, I shall not be a fool. For I will say the truth, but now I forbear, lest any man should think of me above that which he seeth me to be, or that he heareth of me.
Yeah.
And lest I should be exalted above measure.
Above what?
Above measure. Through the abundance of the revelations. There was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart from me. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee.
That's right.
For my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me.
So you can hold up. We're going to get Revelation 1 and 5 and 12 and 11. Y'all we'll call it, because, see, this is what Paul said. That was a vision. I saw these things, but I can't glory because I may not make it.
Right.
I'm coming back into my body, and I saw it, but what would it be like for me not to make it? Start glorying. And I start telling people, yeah, I went up there. Nigga, what you saying, nigga? I've been up to the 3rd level, player. No, so he was given a spirit of Satan to buffet him in the side. Every time he thought to exalt himself like he'd been somewhere that me and you ain't been, it hit him in the side. You know what you say? And the first thing you holler, Lord have mercy.
Right.
911. Oh, okay, it then went away. What did I say? What did I do?
That's right.
And that would be buffeting him. He said, no, just glory in your infirmities. You're fighting a war to get there. But don't act like you done already ended the race and you still got breath in your body. No, you can't do that. I don't care what I show you. You can't glorify yourself being there.
You can still fall.
What's the question on that?
Got you right here, Dane. Let me pull it up. All right, humble servant asks, is there a Bible verse you or the panel that can back up that we're going to know each other in the kingdom?
Can we back up?
Yeah,
No, that will know each other. That will know each other.
Well, I mean, all the revelation to tell you, and those that come forth out of it, we'll know each other, but those that get thrown in the lake of fire, you're going to know because Judgment Day.
Right. And
You know, you'll see.
Luke 16, the rich man and Lazarus.
The rich man and Lazarus. So what I'm saying is, what people are wondering, though, if I don't see my mom.
Right.
You know, is she dead? Will I remember her? Will I have survivor's remorse? You know, I don't see my mama. Anybody seen my mama? No, what you gonna know is righteousness. Right. You're gonna know people who kept the law like you did, because there's no sorrow in the kingdom.
That's right. And so the memories of those who didn't keep the law will be
wiped away from your memory.
So you won't have those grieving thoughts in the kingdom, because there is no sorrow in the kingdom. Right. I mean, just like in the Transfiguration, you know, they knew who they were looking at.
Moses and Elijah.
Moses and Elijah. So they didn't lose their identity, so to speak, nor did Lazarus or anybody of that nature. However, the people that are only going to make it, because like when his mother and his brother and his father were looking for him, who was thy mother and who is my brother? Yeah. Those that keep the commandments of my father, the same as my mother and my brother. So if your mother and your brother did not keep the commandments and didn't have faith in Messiah, then they're condemned already. They died in their sins and they won't be remembered in the kingdom. And that's just fact. I mean, that goes for any of us, my parents or whomever. You know what I'm saying? Those memories will be erased so that you won't have those sorrow thoughts.
Because that's what it'll be, wouldn't it?
That's what it'll be. And then you be angry at Elohim.
Yeah.
How you gonna be angry at Elohim and you in salvation?
Yeah.
How's there anger in salvation?
Yeah.
There can't be. So those memories will be wiped away. But there's very much evidence of people recognizing others in the kingdom.
Yes,
but
sir.
That's only if you kept the law, statutes, and judgments with faith.
Because think about it now. If you think about anybody that passed on, if you talk about them, you don't talk about nothing bad about them. You talk about good things. You may weep a little bit. Man, you remember when Mama used to, boy, she would do this, and we laugh, ha, ha, ha. You feel it in your heart, but it's joy to laugh about it, but you know they're going on. So, Shalom, Noah. So in the kingdom, y'all, it would only be those that kept the word of a God. They're your brother. They're your mother. They're your father. They're called children of the Most High. Right. It's like 1 John 5. When you get into 1 John 5, you'll understand it perfectly. That lays it out perfectly. But you cannot, you'll be grieving for a wicked cuz.
Yeah, because he said all your sorrows shall be wiped away from you.
Because you know what we do right now? We can know somebody being a chemical entrepreneur, a drug dealer. But he a good dude, man. Wait a minute. He a good dude? Half the north side hooked on fentanyl behind this.
Right. Yeah.
Well, he may be a good dude, but he doing a bad act.
Right.
See, and if you bring that into the kingdom, oh, you made it too, man? Yeah, I got some product left. No. If you want to double up, I can hook you up right now.
Ain't gonna be none of that.
Right.
Me and Ariel, we both make it. We ain't gonna be remembering what we did in '89.
You won't. None of that stuff will come up. None of those things will come up.
Do nothing.
See, because in the case, and like I say, the Luke 16, like you spoke of, he said, let me go tell my brother. But guess what side he was on?
Yeah.
He was on the pain and torment side.
That's right.
So that's why he was remembering like that. Because so they won't come to this place. But no, you ain't nothing you can do about that. They have the law and the what?
Prophet.
See, and that's what gets you across. So if you don't see a loved one, you have to understand that your mind won't go back to that individual, because you'll be 1,000 years just sitting on the porch in your mansion with your service and everything. Do you want to eat? No more. No, I don't want nothing to eat. Give it to some strangers. Did anybody seen my mama yet? No, they ain't seen her. 1,000 years like this. You ain't gonna come down there to the temple? No.
I want my mom.
I want my mom. So we have to understand, that's why we have to pray for the mercy of our ancestors, so that you will see them again. That's right. That's why we have to say, pray for the iniquity of our ancestors. If you want to see your mama, start praying for them.
Or it's just like
or your brother or sister, or what was that?
Like when David, when the baby died, he
yeah.
said, he ain't gonna come back to me.
I gotta go to him. Yeah. But now see, they're in pure innocence though.
You're right.
So that child will be looked at, because any children under what do you call it? Puberty, which is puberty, because there's no laws can be used on. All those will be in the kingdom, because say such is the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah.
And when Herod killed the innocents, when Pharaoh killed the innocents, they go directly there.
Right.
So the kingdom will be filled with innocently killed children under the age of accountability. And what I mean by this is when the law come into effect. The law come into effect in Leviticus 13 through 15. For a boy, if he admit through a wet dream, he has to follow the law and go cleanse himself. Mm-hmm. Don't care what age he is when that fly loose from him.
You are now accountable. You're
now accountable to wash yourself, because your blood is coming out of you. And that's what man stuff is. It's blood. It's blood in that mixture, because it's life. And then same thing for a woman when she come on her flower. That's why they would get them out of the temple. Because at this point, they're at this age that where they have to learn now how to prepare themselves. And how you know? Mothers, you get the warning. She gets sore, brown hurt. Can't give a hug. What's the matter? It's tender. You know, like, call her auntie, girl. I think it's time. Mm-hmm. Y'all get over here. Let's have a party. Well, men don't get a party, do we? No, look. And how you know a boy child? Look,
don't nobody know until you say so.
Right. Look, but a boy child, how the father and the parents know is because his voice will crack. Mm-hmm. Hey, Daddy, ain't going to the store. You like, wait a minute here. And then he do something what we call his nostrils is wide open, and he can smell piss down to the arch. Oh, you smelling yourself. That's another sign.
Yeah.
He thinks he's the man. Shoulders is broad. You better go hang them shoulders back up in the closet.
Right. Yeah.
There ain't no man up here ain't paying no bills now. But that's how you know. You like, okay, he's becoming a man now. We got to get him prepared, because he could bring life, and he has to marry a woman. What if he's 13 when this happens?
Oh boy.
What if she 10 to come in her flower?
Oh boy.
Y'all understand? So y'all, that's the deal. To bruh.
You said you got it.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes,
well, let's get these last two, y'all. We're gonna close on out.
Yeah, you working on your
See,
time.
sure is, man. That's what
He killed your time,
but
man.
look, who did that?
He killed your time.
Well, don't worry about it, Doc. Probably 1,000 more people had. Yo, look, these real shoot. They're only one verse. Revelation 1:5 and Revelation 12:11, and we'll call it. But y'all, probably 1,000 people have that same question, and y'all, and this is what you have to say. But look, this changes our mind about beating up on your family members. You know, and you lash out. That's why your ass gonna go to hell. Do you really mean that?
Right.
You will be
You
judged with
can't
that
mean
same
that.
judgment.
Right, because the way you holler and cry at a funeral, did you really mean that? And if she raised up out the casket, I'm on my way to hell, what you crying about? Ain't that what you wanted? Right. Boy, clear it out.
With the smell of dung.
Hey, boy.
No doubt.
And y'all flip to that page. Yeah, go ahead.
The dark time when you put that dude out the trash.
And the what?
You put that dude out the trash and you empty the trash. The work dude.
Oh, yeah. When it scared him, yeah. Boy, he was hiding in the trash.
Yeah.
But look, these boys that do them pranks, they got the one boy back. They told him he was going in for a dental thing or whatever, and they gave him a shot. They put him out for 4 hours. They actually put him in a tuxedo and put him in a coffin and had everybody at the funeral. Well, they knew what time it was going to wear off. All their family members in it. And then he finally woke up and they had a call. And he woke up and he looked around and he saw everybody sitting out in the audience. And he said, "Mama," and people were just doing like they would normally do, like they don't hear him. And he started doing like this, Junior. Junior, them days just going on. Scared the hell out of him, boy. You see that? Yeah, y'all look out there and see it. But had him wake up, man, he was so stunned. He like, I'm at my funeral. And that's what you will kind of think your mind will go there. I want to see what my funeral will be like. Well, that means you're going to be dead.
Right.
Do you want to see what happened? What if it's only 2 people there? Let's get these y'all close on out. Revelation 1 and 5.
Revelation chapter 1 verse 5.
Let's see this dome.
And from Jesus Christ, who is the faithful witness, and the first begotten of the dead, and the prince of the kings of the earth, unto him that loved us, and washed us from our sins in his own blood.
Read that verse 6.
Verse 6.
And
hath made us kings and priests unto God and his Father. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen.
All right, let's hit that Revelation 12:11.
Revelation chapter 12 verse 11.
For 10 and 11.
Verse 10.
Yeah.
And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb.
How they overcome him?
The blood of the Lamb.
And
by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto the death.
So y'all read the rest of that, y'all see what type of blessings was passed out to them. You also get into to some second Ezra. What is that? 6? What Son of Man? 7. Hold on. You right now.
Talking about where he was passing out crowns.
Passing out crowns. What's that?
That's chapter 2.
Chapter 2. Second Ezra chapter 2.
Yeah,
verse 38 on down.
Yeah.
You'll see the same exact thing in Revelation 6 and 9. So everybody knew the pattern. That's why we had to pray for our ancestors, y'all. Not to some spiritual, this new kick they got going out there. And it's not just pray for them. Pray for the iniquities that they did or said. Whatever made you say, you're going to go to hell. You know, whatever those was, if you want to see them again, pray and ask the Most High to have mercy on them. That's the best you can do. But if you acknowledge their sins and yours, it may be y'all may show up and see the same people, you know, in the kingdom. But other than that, at Judgment Day, if they say away with them, ain't nothing you or I can do about it. But you ain't going to be sitting around crying in the kingdom. Because we can't cry down here on earth. Mourning is for 30 days. You start mourning, hooping and hollering after more 30 days. Most I say you bring sin on yourself, and you'll be brought to me too.
You'll be sick.
You'll cry yourself to death. You can't do that. Certain honorable men, so to speak, like Joseph's funeral may have lasted, they may have went a little bit extra. 40 days, but nothing past 40 days of mourning. You have to cut it off because you won't be able to live. Now think about that. If you can't do that here on earth, how are you going to be crying for 1,000 years in the kingdom? Man, you in the kingdom.
My mama ain't do nothing to nobody.
And y'all, we got the Passover coming up, y'all, so we got the tickets already printed out. Myself or Ishua Ben Israel, y'all contact. But what we need, y'all, is if you don't have the funding right now, just say, put me on the list. Just send a text. If you have to send it to Tubai, you send it to myself or Ishua Ben Israel. And just get your name on the list, y'all. We have to go to the store. We can't go at the last minute. You'll be standing at the door, and that'd be like the 10 virgins, 5 of them had oil in their lamp. Don't be the one that have to go back to the store. Because we ain't going back to the store when it cut off. And you won't be in front of everybody that already done been up front.
And we ain't getting back on the grill.
Right.
I just want to remind everybody to pick your bags up. I'll be downstairs at the class.
For any of y'all else that wanted to, because today we're still into Purim.
Yes, sir.
So sister still has abundance of homeless bags. If y'all know some spots where they at, on the street corner where they at, y'all can grab them from sis and pass them out. We good, y'all? Yes, sir. Well, all praise to the Most High, y'all.
All praise.
Anybody on this in here need to get put on the list? Y'all come holler at me when we close out.
All right, family. We're going to get this closing prayer. And it's with the Most High's permission. And it's in the name of His only begotten and beloved Son, our Lord and Savior and our Redeemer, Yahushua HaMashiach. But we know him as Jesus the Christ, y'all. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 59th chapter, it reads, Deliver me from mine enemies, O my Elohim.
Yes, sir.
Defend me from them that rise up against me. Deliver me from the workers of iniquity, and save me from bloody men.
Yes, sir.
For lo, they lie in wait for my soul. The mighty are gathered against me, not for my transgression, nor for my sin, O Yahweh. They run and prepare themselves without my fault. Awake to help me, and behold, thou therefore, O Yahweh, power of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, awake to visit all the heathen. Be not merciful to any wicked transgressor. Selah.
Selah.
They return at evening. They make a noise like a dog and go round about the city. Behold, they belch out with their mouth. Swords are in their lips. For who, say they, doth hear? But thou, O Yahweh, shalt laugh at them. Thou shalt have the heathen in derision.
Yes, sir.
Because of his strength will I wait upon thee. For Yahweh is my defense. The Elohim of my mercy shall prevent me. Yah shall let me see my desire upon mine enemies. Slay them not, lest my people forget. Scatter them by thy power, and bring them down, O Yahweh, our shield. For the sin of their mouth and the words of their lips, let them even be taken in their pride, and for cursing and lying which they speak. Consume them in wrath, consume them, that they may not be. And let them know that Yahweh ruleth in Jacob unto the ends of the earth.
Yes,
Selah.
Selah.
And at evening let them return, and let them make a noise like a dog, and go round about the city. Let them wander up and down for meat, and grudge if they be not satisfied. But I will sing of thy power.
Yes.
Yea, I will sing aloud of thy mercy in the morning.
Yes.
For thou hast been my defense and refuge in the day of my trouble.
Yes, sir.
Unto thee, O my strength, will I sing. For Yah is my defense.
Yes.
Unto the Elohim of my mercy.
Hallelujah! Selah!
All right.
Y'all got a shekel or two, y'all. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you, worldwide audience, for all y'all support. Thank y'all so much. So anybody up here, you know, you need to get your name on the list. Come holler at me real quick.
Hey, Daniel.
Yeah.
Coach.
Yes, sir.